It's time to hack the movies.
Hello, Tony.
Hello, Kieran. How are you?
I'm well.
Hello, Justin.
Hey, Tony.
Recovering from Hanukkah?
No.
Okay. Well, you guys are back. Do you know what else is back, Kieran?
Spider-Man?
Iraq is back.
Oh, Jesus. Iraq is indeed back.
Iraq is back. Yes, we are here to close off the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy.
Wait, like Iraq? Wait, what are you talking about?
I think they're talking
Iraq.
about ISIS.
Iraq. It was from
probably
the
not.
Entertainment Weekly that said Iraq is back.
Iraq is back.
Oh, like a
Like
spider?
like an arachnid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It was not a good. It was bad.
Okay.
Anyway, Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy. We are finishing it just in time for No Way Home.
Yeah.
No, we're not doing the Andrew Garfield movies. However, me and Movie Dumpster are going to do commentary tracks for those on Patreon. So you'll hear what we have to say about those terrible, terrible garbage films over there.
And I'll be downloading and uploading them to Pirate Bay for all of you guys that don't want to pay Tony.
Wow.
Nice.
That's really mean.
Yo ho ho.
Before we start, No Way Home, it's going to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Probably.
People are already sending their money to buy tickets, and you could be supporting this show by subscribing for free. So what would you rather do? Pay money for a Spider-Man movie or subscribe to this for free and hear us talk about Spider-Man movies?
There we go.
That's better, right?
You're not asking me what I'd rather do, right? You're asking the audience.
Yes, I'm asking the audience. What would you rather do, Kieran?
Pay Tony money.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Well, like personally, I do not subscribe to Hack the Movies,
Wow.
and I didn't see that second Tom Holland Spider-Man movie.
You still didn't see Far From Home?
Nah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
And I'm not, this isn't like MCU fanboy. It's just a good movie.
Yeah, I liked it.
Hack the Movies is pretty good too, episodes that I am in, but yet I do not subscribe.
Okay, got you.
So be better than me and subscribe to Hack the
Anyway,
Movies.
I subscribe.
little bit of backstory before this movie. When did you see this? When it came out?
When it came out, I went to a midnight showing of it.
Cool. I saw this movie by myself because all my friends had seen it early and they didn't tell me. And I'm pretty sure my girlfriend at the time was cheating on me with her ex-boyfriend, so she didn't want to go. So I went myself, and I was actually wearing this exact same shirt to the
Wow.
movie. And then I walked out of the movie and went, that was pretty lame. Kind of let down. What was your initial reaction?
Same, really. And
Same.
actually, I did see it with an ex-girlfriend who I'm pretty sure was cheating on me at the time, but I was with them.
And
I was
there's
with
a
her.
girlfriend in this movie who cheats, so it's...
Well,
So if anything, the movie was letting me down and reminding me of what was... I never confirmed it, but if it is the guy, that dude got arrested for robbing a computer store, armed robbery, so
Whoa.
she thought that guy was better than me.
Well, that's kind of like this movie.
Kind of, yeah.
Last night was the first time I ever saw this movie.
You never got around to it.
I watched it at 2 a.m.
How have you not seen this?
And I left that experience very upset.
yeah,
well,
you left me. You sent me a GIF,
yeah.
like 4
Yes.
in the morning.
Speaking of ex-girlfriends, I don't know if you guys knew, I used to be married. Now I am not.
Oh.
And I've had a long history of girlfriend problems.
Oh, you have?
But during this time, I didn't see a lot of movies in theaters because we didn't go out or do anything. So thankfully, I did miss all the awful trilogies of movies like Pirates 3,
Oh, yeah.
Terminator 3,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. Well, I think
X-Men
that
3.
Terminator 3
X-Men
was 2003.
Yeah, well, in that rough time
Okay.
frame. Yeah, from like high school to now.
Okay, well, I'm shocked you never got around to it.
Yeah.
Did you see the Garfield movies, the Andrew Garfield
I
ones?
watched the first one and did not want to see the second one.
I watched the Garfield
Fair.
movie, the one with Bill Murray in it, right?
Yeah, that's a good one. Tale of Two Kitties, I think, was superior.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Anyway, so this movie, famous for having a lot of issues, made a ton of money, cost a ton of money, made a ton of money. Ironically, for the movie with the weakest script, this had the least complicated development. We've talked previously about how both the first two movies had very different first drafts.
Yeah.
With Wiener. That was
Yeah,
the name.
Wiener.
That was the
Wiener.
name of the guy's
Dr. Octopus's
sidekick was
buddy.
Wiener.
Yeah, Wiener.
So Sam Raimi and his brother wrote this one, Ivan Raimi, with Alan Sargent, who did 2.
Who is, I think, the guy who's J. Jonah Jameson's assistant, right? Is that him?
No, that's Ted Raimi. There's another Raimi who does all like the producing and stuff.
Third Raimi.
Yes. The original idea is pretty much what happens in the movie, with the exception of the Vulture was going to be in there instead of Venom.
Oh.
And I'm sorry, how do you say his name? Avi Arad?
Avi Arad.
Avi Arad, not AVR.
Arad or whatever you called him earlier.
Avi Arad pretty much like convinced Sam Raimi to use Venom. From what I can read, he was just like, hey, you're focusing on characters that you like too much, even though he picked the Green Goblin and Dr. Octopus, who everyone likes.
Yeah.
He's like, you got to do someone more modern, which I get it from a business standpoint. I get it. Sam Raimi said he didn't like the character initially. People think he hates the character, but I read in other stuff. He's like, I eventually read some of the books and I learned to like the character. So I was kind of against Venom being in this.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I just felt like there was too much.
2007, I fell out in love with Venom. I'm like, all right, it's a cool costume. He has that one cool initial story, but I wasn't super in him. Now I like Venom.
Yeah.
I actually like the Venom movies. They're cheesy.
I do too.
They're fine and fun.
I like the first one. They are fine and fun.
Yes.
Well, I haven't seen the second one, but the first
It's
one
fine
is
and
fine and
fun.
fun. Yes.
I don't know. This movie just feels like a parody of a Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
After seeing it for the first time, and Venom's like, there's too many bad guys in this movie, especially the whole Venom plot. You could say there's 10 pounds of Sandman in a 5-pound Sandman bag. You know what I mean? It was funnier when I thought about it last night.
It probably was. It probably was.
It was 4 in the morning when you probably thought about it last night.
Yeah. But Venom in this is like an amalgam of his initial origin from like Secret Wars, kind of. But I think that's limited to how the suit works. And then the cartoon. And then the Ultimate Comics, which is why it explains why Eddie Brock is not this muscle-bound dude.
Yeah.
He looks more like a Peter Parker. And they got Topher Grace. Good news, guys. I contacted Topher Grace. Now, don't worry. I called him and I said, Topher, please, you could just use the front door.
Yeah.
Just wear your regular costume. This isn't a gimmick.
And they're about to shoot the new That 70s show, but it's That 90s show now.
Yes.
So we're gonna be getting he's gonna be hot soon. He's
yes.
gonna be like a big deal.
So
again.
getting Topher Grace in this is a big deal. And I told him, because unfortunately, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland, and the guy from the 70s all died tragically.
What was his name?
I forget, but he's dead.
He's dead. He's still
dead.
Here.
So I told Topher, don't worry, just walk in like a normal person.
Okay,
and
cool.
We're getting a call. Hey, Topher. Yeah, it's Tony. It's Topher Grace.
Oh wow.
Hey, are you still on your way? What do you mean, look up? Topher, why are you on the scaffolding? No, I know what you're going to do. Topher, do not swing into the store. It's a bad idea. Please do not do it. Topher, no. Topher, no.
Oh my God. He kicked me in the face.
Why? I told him not to do it. I told him not to jump.
Oh my God.
Why do they keep doing it? Oh my God.
Oh God. I think he broke my nose.
Oh no.
That was a Topher disgrace.
Wow, man. Too soon.
Do you think he finished that 90s show scenes before he died?
I don't think it's even been filming yet.
Oh no, we just ruined that 90s show.
Oh God.
I don't think
Kurtwood Smith is going to be so mad at us.
We're going to get Red Foreman.
Yeah.
Oh my God. When will this nightmare ever end? Anyway, you want to talk about Spider-Man 3?
Yes, I do.
Okay, Spider-Man 3. Let's get into this film. The intro sequence. It is a recap of what happened in the last 2 movies.
Yep.
To bring you up to speed. Not as fun as the Alex Ross paintings.
No, it felt like they were kind of like, we don't want to do that again, or like...
Yeah, I do appreciate that all 3 sequences are different.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of like this with the webs going like the first one, but then the Venom symbiote is infecting him. I thought that was pretty cool. Christopher Young is doing the music now.
Okay.
Danny Elfman is out. Christopher Young is in.
But it's a lot of the same people from 1 and 2, right? So Bill Pope.
Bill Pope's back.
A lot of the Darkman people are in it, are around. So, yeah, that's cool. I will say the opening sequence, they don't really dwell much on Spider-Man 2 in flashbacks. Like, the first part shows way more than the second part.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I guess it's because if you're trying to get new people in who missed the first two, you got to give them a little bit of that origin. Also, I guess maybe the idea was let's show the origin of Peter. So the origin for Venom will be a counter, but there's not enough Venom in it for that to work. Everything is going right for Peter.
Yeah.
And he's bragging about it. The city loves him.
It's Spider-Mania.
Spider-Mania. Yeah. He's doing great in school. He's somehow balancing fighting crime and getting good grades.
Yeah, and there's dudes that are like in college that are spitballing and doing like grade school pranks.
Isn't this like grad school at this point?
Yeah,
like
probably.
He's got to be like, I mean, the last movie he was like 21. He's got to be like 23 or 24 now.
All those guys look like they're 40.
Yeah, and they're all like being assholes. Like, who did that in college?
It's never too late to start college,
I guess,
Justin.
like, yeah.
And it's never too late to start bullying people.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Also, like, the one guy has a fucking mirror.
Oh yeah,
shining it in his eyes. Who did that? That's like stuff that, like you see in like.
Sorry, I forgot to hang up.
Oh yeah. Well, it's not like.
Well, it's not like Topher Grace is on the other line anymore. He's dead.
Yep.
Anyway, what were you saying?
Oh, I don't know. I just think it's really. I thought that was awkward. I don't feel like people would be bullying in college like that. I don't know. Maybe people do. I never had any. Shit like that.
Here's the first issue with too many characters. Gwen Stacy's there.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Connors is there.
Well, Dr. Connors I'm fine with.
Yeah.
Because he was in the previous one. You kind of get the idea they're setting up for him eventually.
Because like the fourth one would have been the Lizard?
Yes.
Okay.
I got some stuff on the fourth one. But Gwen Stacy, so they combined Gwen Stacy and Mary Jane for the first one.
Okay.
But now they're introducing Gwen Stacy.
Yeah.
And it's like, other than her looks, there's nothing Gwen Stacy about her, really.
Yeah.
Like, not real. Like, and I thought, like, at the time, like, oh, because we read that quote where Kirsten Dunst said in Spider-Man 3, she wants Spider-Man to throw her into a wall and kill her.
Oh, yeah. What was up with that?
I don't think she wanted to be in the movies.
Yeah. It was like, it would be cool if like he was swinging and he just threw me into a wall and I died.
So
like,
I
that
thought
was in the magazine.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a switch where it's like, okay, maybe Mary Jane's going to die, and then 4, 5, and 6, he's with Gwen Stacy. Yeah. That doesn't happen.
Wait, was there supposed to be another Raimi trilogy?
Yeah, he was planning to at least do a fourth one.
There was going to be a fourth movie for sure.
And then he said if he would do 5 and 6, they would be like a 2-parter. This was almost a 2-parter.
It should have been.
Yeah.
It should have been, and they somehow whittled it down into one movie.
Is this one like 3 hours? About?
It's close. I think the problem was they couldn't find. They said they couldn't find like a medium point to cut, like in their story, and it just ended up being one convoluted movie.
I'm going to be honest. I might be, one of the only, but I love this movie.
There are things to like in it.
Yeah.
See, Justin just watched it.
Well, it's gonna.
So he's like us. He's in that initial stage of what the fuck is this?
I think if you go back, months from now, and you kind of let it simmer and you watch all 3 again, this one has more of an impact when you watch the first 2 right before it. I think.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
Gee, I wonder if there's any other third installments that were frowned upon initially, and then people have a more of appreciation for them later on in life.
YouTube search Alien 3.
Yeah, we're still doing it. Don't worry. Anyway. Oh, God. Oh, by the way, you're getting one of these.
Oh, what?
Yeah. Oh, spoiler.
What?
Spoiler. Guy DM'd me the picture of it.
Oh, shit. I'm excited.
So yeah, Gwen Stacy, I think you could have easily just made Betty Brant a bigger character. Yeah, she's already established.
And she is one of Peter Parker's many love interests. But
that is a woman that Peter sees daily, so you wouldn't have had to introduce her. Like, this is just right off the bat, it's like, you're adding too much.
I think originally, too, the reason why, like, when he dates Betty Brant in the comics, I think she hates Spider-Man.
Oh.
And I think that's why he ends up breaking up with her eventually, is just because she hates Spider-Man like as much as J. Jonah Jameson does, pretty much.
I like Betty in the new ones.
Who is she in the new ones?
She's the girl who does the morning announcements in the new movies. She's the one dating his friend in the second one.
Yeah, all right.
Yes. He even makes
that's
it.
Betty Brant. I didn't put that together, huh?
Yeah, he makes it to Mary Jane's play. She did not make it to in the previous one.
Yeah, her garbage ass fucking play sucks balls.
Because now she's a Broadway actress.
Yeah, she was in the previous one.
She was in the first one. She was like off Broadway. I thought
yes.
It was like, but it's still like a big play. I think the thing about her too is like, you know, of course, like she goes out and sings, and I guess it's not they're you know, everybody's like whatever, but she should just go back to regular theater, not musical theater. But I guess that's what Broadway mostly is.
No.
So she wants to do that, but
well, there's also a lot of things off Broadway, so I don't know why she had to go from that to being a waitress or whatever.
Yeah, we'll get
to that. Oh yeah.
Which I can't wait to talk about some of the later scenes.
Yeah.
There's so much good stuff in this.
So
movie.
I do kind of like this because it's showing you how the characters have developed a little bit. And so Peter is like singing the song.
It's wonderful.
To give you like the idea, like, oh, they probably practiced the song together. I thought that was a cute moment.
Yeah.
We find out that Harry is watching.
Yeah, and he's just like,
Yeah.
Yeah, because at this point he knows Peter Parker, Spider-Man,
Yep.
Yes.
and he hates him
yeah,
because Willem Dafoe told him so in a
And
mirror.
I was
Yeah.
excited. This is what I was most excited for in this movie. I'm like, I just want to see that confrontation between Harry and Peter.
Yeah.
And that's why I was let down the most in this movie.
yeah.
But so he's still really, really pissed, and he just doesn't even want to listen to an explanation about what happened to his dad.
That's what I don't understand too. Is like I don't understand why it just never has it come up that like Peter's like, look, man, your dad was the Goblin. You did see what he did at that Macy Gray concert.
Really, Harry
like,
should have
years
been like,
ago.
oh my God, my dad is a murderer.
He threw a pumpkin bomb that vaporized people into skeletons.
But like I said, my
whole
theory,
board of directors.
my theory with like Spider-Man 2 was like, was Norman juicing in the house and was some of it seeping in, driving Harry insane? That's my theory.
Could be.
Maybe that, because normally you would be like, oh my God, my dad's a murderer. I'm going to the cops.
Yeah.
Instead, he's like, well, now I have to kill Spider-Man. It's like, well, that doesn't make any sense. So that's my theory.
I could understand if like he never found out that Norman Osborn was the Green Goblin, but he fucking found out Norman Osborn was the Green Goblin.
Yeah.
So it's like.
Also, I like that Peter gets her like a thing of flowers and Harry gets her that giant fucking bouquet of
It's like, that
flowers.
was from Harry. That's the first of the weird, like, comic sight gags in this movie, and there's like a few.
This one's definitely the most Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
The most Evil Dead 2 of it.
or even like Darkman-ish. Like, it's got parts.
It's more Darkman-ish, I think. Yeah.
Especially the dialogue. Like, example, when he's sitting next to the two big guys in the front row for some reason, because I guess that's funny. He just turns to go, he's like, that's my girlfriend. And the guy kind of looks back at him, and I'm like, why even bring that up? That's my girlfriend. That's my girlfriend.
I mean, I'd probably do the same thing if I was like sitting there, but then it's like her play sucks, so I'd be like, yeah, it's not her. I'm embarrassed of her now. No.
Yeah, so we see the Goblin lair.
Yeah.
And then we see the original Goblin mask. We see this cool, like, silver gold mask. That looks awesome. And I think in the Ultimate Comics, Harry becomes Hobgoblin to make it a little different.
Okay.
Yeah, I
believe.
kind of wish he was Hobgoblin in this. And this movie had a Halloween like theme cut through it. It would work really well with like him going to darkness, and that would have been fun.
Yeah, so we see this cool gold mask, and I'm like, oh, that's awesome. And then we see the ski mask, and I go, oh no.
And it's more of a surfboard now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Then they show the cool big glider. I'm like, I wonder what the next. And then it's a snowboard.
Yeah,
and you're like, oh no,
it's a hoverboard.
He turns into like the like modern G.I. Joe. Like, this looks like crap.
Yeah, he has like a lightsaber sword.
I don't understand why. Because I mean, people bitched about Green Goblin in the first one, but at least he was green and looked like a goblin.
Yeah.
But Sam Raimi, you think like he would do something cooler. Instead, he's a snowboarder.
Yeah, him as the Hobgoblin with like a bigger like if he had like the old tech that he wasn't using, remember, because it was supposed to be all like the prototype stuff.
Yeah,
like it was kind of jank. That would have been a lot more fun. Like, he was just more like dangerous and had bigger bombs.
Yeah, because now it looks like Spider-Man returned the glider to the Goblin lair that he knew existed. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Well, he had to pull it out of Norman's penis.
Yeah, that's right.
That's true.
Yeah, and like, because remember I said this in the first review because I didn't do the second review with you guys, but like, Spider-Man laid him down but he must have taken the glider out because it was jammed into his groin.
Well, yeah,
we mentioned it.
He had to pull it out, which probably ripped his femoral artery, so he's bleeding all over the place. He probably shit and pissed his pants too inside the goblin thing.
Yeah.
So then he returns him in that blanket, and it's just caked in human feces.
But now he's
and
back.
piss.
He's in No Way Home. I wonder if he's going to talk about how his dick got fixed.
He's like,
I don't know.
He's like, you stabbed me in the penis, Spider-Man.
I think in No Way Home they get transported before they die, so they didn't have their when Norman dies, he's like, don't tell. Like he kind of had a moment of clarity, like,
don't tell
you know
Harry.
what, I fucked up. You know, he died like Darth Vader.
No.
Like sorry, death. And then in Spider-Man 2. Dr. Ock died saving the city and everyone and sacrificing himself.
Yeah.
But I think they're going to come back as the asshole versions of themselves before they
It's
find
kinda like,
realization.
yeah.
But wait, Dr.
Thanos
Octopus
in
doesn't
Endgame.
learn who Spider-Man is until he's cured.
What's that?
Dr. Octopus doesn't know Peter's identity until after he beats the arms.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a
That's kind of
good
weird.
point.
actually.
We'll figure it out. We'll
Yeah.
figure it out. Anyway, let's focus on
Maybe
this
it was
movie.
him as he's like, because you know how like he died in the river with the power of the sun. Maybe that fucking sun turned into like a black hole
and, like, sucked him in.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
when he was going down, he's like, wait a minute, fuck this.
Yeah, he's like, wait, Spider-Man. Maybe it's like I don't know. I'm sure they'll explain.
It's holiday season and you don't know what to get as a gift or stocking stuffer? Well, today's sponsor, Manscaped, has the tools to guarantee you win this year's stocking stuffer or white elephant competition. Manscaped is the leader in men's below-the-waist grooming, and they have served more than 4 million men worldwide. If my math is correct, that's almost 8 million balls. Get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com with promo code HackTheMovies. Ho, 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 fellas. Naughty or nice, 'tis the season to perform. How you doing, Kieran?
Pretty good, Tony.
You having a good holiday season?
Yeah, so far I am.
Did you have a happy Hanukkah?
Yes.
Good. Are you excited for the upcoming Christmas season or Christmas holiday?
Hell yeah.
Do you like shaving your balls?
Hell yeah.
How often do you use Manscaped?
Hell yeah. I every time I shave my balls, I use Manscaped.
And it's really been a life changer,
Yeah,
right?
it has.
Yeah. In the past, the holidays must have been sad because you had to shave with inferior razors. Did those razors ever ruin a Christmas for you?
One time right before Christmas, actually, I was shaving my balls, as I do every Christmas. And I ended up nicking my scrotum, and one of my testicles came completely out. It was just hanging by the vas deferens.
But then Santa came down the chimney
Yeah.
and he gave you a Manscaped razor.
He was quite horrified at the sight. There was a lot of blood everywhere.
Manscaped's best-selling product is the Performance Package 4.0, which is at the top of every man's wish list this year. It's a good one.
Yeah.
It's a good one. Inside, you'll find their lawnmower body trimmer, the best trimmer on the market for your balls, butt, and body. And the Weed Whacker ear, nose, and hair trimmer. How often do you use that Weed Whacker?
I actually don't have it at the moment because all I had was a lawnmower 2.0. But I will be using your code this holiday season, Tony, and buying my own.
Well, let me tell you, they weren't lying about stocking stuffers, okay? Because I used the lawnmower 4.0
Yeah.
right before I got here, and I stuffed this stocking pretty well, right?
Wow. That's fucking terrifying. Oh, am I allowed to say the F word? That's freaking terrifying, Tony.
What? It just shows how good the lawnmower 4.0 is.
Oh my god, that made me feel just a little bit sick.
Let's not forget their famous liquid formulations, the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant and Crop Reviver Ball Toner to maximize your ball hygiene routine. I don't want to get too personal, but I am currently back on the market, Kieran, and I need to make sure my balls smell pristine.
And I'm sure they do.
Kieran, the dads can't stop talking about this. The teens secretly buy this, and the women will love you for it. That's a fact. Now, these are Manscaped's picks for surefire win stocking stuffers. Unlike the stocking that I stuff, these are much more pleasing.
Yeah.
The Manscaped 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner just launched. You can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. The Manscaped cologne infused body wash. The Sheer 2.0 luxury 4-piece nail kit. Crop mops, ball wipes for your stanky balls. You got stanky balls?
No, I don't think I do, but
if you
I
did,
I would be using the ball wipes.
Manscaped signature cologne. Good news, Kieran. These formulations are all vegan, cruelty-free, dye-free, sulfate-free, and paraben-free.
Yeah.
So you know their products are legit.
That sounds good to me.
Make sure you hurry to their site and ensure these wild gifts show up before the holiday season. While you're at it, get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com with code HACKTHEMOVIES. Whether it's for your partner, dad, brother, friend, get them something they will actually use, and it's almost sure to get a laugh. Once again, get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com with our promo code. Be the ballsiest gift giver this year with Manscaped. Your balls will thank you.
Thanks, Kieran.
Okay, that's it. We don't know what happened to Jameson Jr., the astronaut, which they kept reminding us was an astronaut.
Right, he was an astronaut in the second one, and he's the one that's supposed to bring the symbiote back from space.
Yes, and that was the plan, but the movie was getting kind of expensive. And they were like,
so they just turned
they're
it
like,
into
I don't think we need the spaceship landing in the city stuff. They're like, yeah, you know what? Let's just simplify this, but they simplify it in the dumbest fucking way.
Yeah.
Where it's just they're hanging on a web talking about how in love they are, and then just a meteor, the quietest meteorite in the galaxy, just hits next to the moped.
Yeah.
And the symbiote just comes out.
Yep. It's like spoot.
Kind of lazy.
Isn't in Ultimate Spider-Man, it's not an alien, it's like an organism they make?
In Ultimate Spider-Man, it was created by Peter and Eddie Brock's dads.
Yeah, if you're not going to do the space thing, maybe that wasn't in the comic. No, it should have been in the comics at that
so
point.
like I think so. Like what it was like too, like, you know, Venom was just dark. Like he didn't have the spider symbol until he sucked Carnage in, who was Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Wait, Eddie Brock's dads?
Yeah, Eddie Brock and Peter, their dads.
Oh, I think
were
when Eddie Brock had 2 dads.
Well,
I was
be wrong with that.
Awesome,
At least
perfect and progressive.
I don't know if that's if that's what it is in the comic, but it is in the video game.
Yeah, no, I think it's from the
You
comics.
guys know a lot more about Spider-Man than I do. Like, I know about the first 2 movies. I know about the animated show in the 90s with the Spider-Blood. I like that. And some of the game stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't read too many of the Spider-Man comics growing up.
You know what was nice about this movie? When it was coming out, the local paper was reissuing old Spider-Man comics.
Oh,
from like the 60s.
Yeah, the like 3-frame like serial ones.
Yeah, well, no, it was like you know, the first appearance of Dr. Octopus, and you get like a different, like they would split the comic up into 3 separate comics. I still have them. And they were really cool. I'm like, wow, I can actually read the old comics without having to buy like a super expensive old one.
Yeah.
Every other page was a toy commercial. It was an ad for Spider-Man 3 or Fantastic Four 2 toys.
They sold those with like some action figures too. There was like these really when they first started doing the Marvel Legends figures, they did a Spider-Man line and they all came with comics.
I was gonna bring them, but they're in a box somewhere. Back to this. The symbiote is now on Earth.
Just like, does the symbiote break? Like, okay, so a little bit of the symbiote gets on his moped.
Yeah.
What happened to the rest of the shit? There was a ton of it.
That was the symbiote.
It could like shrink.
Yeah,
it didn't look like that.
It's like it kind of like can self-replicate, I guess. Especially when it attaches itself to a host, it kind of like consumes.
So it's only one blob symbiote. It's not like spreading out all over the place.
No,
I think it's just break up a reform. It's like the Thing. Think of it like kind of like the Thing, or liquid metal. How it's one organism.
Yeah,
but
like
can break
like
off.
T-1000.
Yeah, I get it can break off and stuff, but that means the pile of it's still hanging out at the love nest they had back there. Like,
well, maybe it. Well, I want to say it dies without latching onto a host, but the symbiote for this movie is just hanging out.
Yeah, it's just in his apartment.
And it's like, is it like eating rats? How is it still alive? It has to latch onto something.
I guess it could be.
Yeah.
You know, like all the cockroaches.
I like the concept that, like, instead of that, like it latches onto whatever host it can, and then it finds a stronger one or whatever's around.
Yeah.
And they should have done a little something like when the alarm goes off and you see it freak out, so you have a little bit of the foreshadowing later. But if it like latched on the Dinkovich or whatever at first, and it rejects itself from him,
that's like the new I like in the new Venom movies. He can latch on to whoever, but if it's not a match, they eventually die. The new Venom movie, he breaks up from Eddie Brock and he kills like 3 people jumping host to host. It's pretty fucked up. Yeah, or he could have just went to space for the Secret Wars and they could have printed him the costume, not knowing he was an alien. Do you think that would have fit into this film? Yeah, that's how he gets it originally. Yeah, the spaceship, they ended up using the spaceship origin in Venom. Okay. And Jameson dies.
The symbiote.
Symbiote. There's different ways to pronounce it. They're all correct.
It's a Symbi Hall and Oat. John Oat.
We see Flint Marko on the run.
Yeah.
Another villain name that's exactly like their powers. He's Flint. He's made of sand.
Flint's not made of sand, though, is it?
Well, Flint's like a Brock.
It's like a Brock.
It's like a Brock.
It's like an Eddie Brock.
It's like an Eddie Brock.
Anyway, he is on the run. His wife catches him checking on his sick daughter.
Yeah.
The wife is pissed.
Yeah.
She's like, you might have killed a guy and you're a criminal. Get out of here. And he's like, I just wanted money for my sick daughter. And this could have been good, but it is almost all cut out from the rest of the film. And I have a list of deleted scenes we're going to get to, but like they wanted another sympathetic villain, but they eliminate, like, we never see this daughter again.
Yeah.
We never see the wife again.
Yeah, we just see her in the little, what do you call it?
Yeah, that's it. But we don't like get to see them enough.
Yeah, because that's the thing. He's just stealing money, but I guess you get the idea that it's for her.
Yeah.
But they never say it, and it's just kind of like he's.
I mean, they do, but like it's just like it's like Dr. Octopus. We got that whole long scene with him and Rosie talking to Peter. So, there's a little bit of a connection there. Here, it's like not much. He barely talks to his daughter.
And also, what's she sick with?
I don't remember.
Like, let's say she has like the worst form of cancer or whatever. How much money would you need? Let's say you need $100,000. Why not just rob 10 liquor stores? Why do you got to knock off an armored truck?
It might have been explained in one of the deleted scenes.
Oh.
Like what exactly her condition was.
Should have used like GoFundMe or
also,
something.
it's Marvel, so it might be like some fucking crazy like.
Yeah.
Oh, and who's this actor?
Oh my God, I'm blanking on his name.
His name is something. It's 3 names.
Thomas Hayden Church.
He
from
was,
Wings.
Yeah, he was in Sideways.
Sideways. He got the part because of Sideways.
Yeah, I just realized that I'm the same age as they were now when they were in Sideways, and that's weird to think about because they were like.
And Paul Giamatti was eventually Rhino in that terrible Spider-Man movie.
Oh yeah.
Right.
The only reason I wanted to see that movie.
Oh, what other movie was he in?
Who?
Thomas Hayden Church.
Yeah, he was in what's a movie I sat around and talked about and no one really cared about it? Demon Knight.
Thomas Hayden Church is in
and then
Demon
they put his nipples, they have the battery tied to him.
Oh,
That's
I think
him,
so.
right?
I think so. Cut to a picture. Okay.
I'm surprised. Like,
oh wait, can that picture be him with the nipple clamps from Demon Knight? That'd be great. Thanks.
Okay.
Speaking of nipples, I find it surprising that like Johanna had a lot to say about Alfred Molina, but not this guy, Thomas Hayden Church.
He's in too good a shape, I guess.
Maybe, I guess. I don't know.
She likes her men pudgy.
Yeah.
Yes. Here's your favorite scene. Peter visits Aunt May.
I ain't gonna do it this time.
And she's got a lovely apartment.
Yeah, she does.
Where's she getting the money for that? She couldn't afford the house
from her OnlyFans money that she's getting from furiously masturbating on camera all the time. That's her job.
Well, I don't think she'd have OnlyFans back then. But
Speaking
she might
of which,
do some like elder porn.
She's doing granny.
No, you know what happened?
She might be.
Is like she told Flint Marko to kill Uncle Ben because he doesn't satisfy her because he's a bad person.
Yeah.
And he died from the insurance money that she set up for him because he wouldn't set up his own life insurance policy because Uncle Ben is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So then he died, and then at least something came out of his death worthwhile.
Why did she wait so long to get this apartment when she was?
She had to sell the house to get rid of it.
Because the
stuff.
cops are on their trail.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It can't look like it.
So
like literally, the police captain bring him in on the thing. They know what's going on.
It's the long con.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, he tells her that he wants to propose to Aunt May, and
What,
she
he wants to propose to
Fuck,
Aunt May.
Mary Jane.
Ew.
So Peter Parker wants to propose to
Now
Mary
this is
Jane.
Mary
from
Jane.
Spider-Man 3 into Taboo. it
Yes.
feels like.
And she tells him the story of when Uncle Ben proposed to her, and she turned him down at first.
I'd like to point out every Aunt May scene in this movie is boring as hell.
You gotta have Aunt
In the other
May.
movies, they were fine. In this, is so boring.
Well,
Yeah.
she gives him her ring.
From her, she's still wearing it.
She is.
I'm surprised she didn't lose it inside of her from all the furious manipulation she does. in these last two
She used the ring finger? That seems more like a middle.
No, she uses the whole
finger
hand,
job
but
to
you
me.
might lose a ring.
I mean, actually, no. Yeah, you probably use the ring finger.
Can we just do one Spider-Man movie where we don't talk about Aunt May's sexual exploits?
I feel like though, if I don't, you're just gonna get a million comments of people being like, "Kieran didn't talk about Aunt May
Yeah,
furiously masturbating."
When I was watching this at 2 to 4 a.m. last night, I was like, I got to bring up the losing the ring thing. I got like 4 or 5 more.
Me, I'm just like, this is a nice story of how Uncle
I
Ben
don't even-
proposed. They swam to an island and they
feel
were in
so
love,
bad.
and you guys are like, she's flicking her bead. I'm like, oh no. I'm like, I really liked this cute story, you assholes.
You know, I gotta be honest. I'm ashamed of myself and all the things I brought up about Aunt May and everything. You know, I feel really bad about it. I just, I hope wherever Aunt May is right now, that she is, you know, enjoying life, living her best life, and all those kind of
I'm also surprised that actress is still alive.
Yeah.
94, I think.
Yeah.
very nice.
Is she going to be in No Way Home?
Oh, I don't know. Well, you know, when I talk about Aunt May again, you know, once we get to No Way Home,
And she's a great actress too. Like it's kind of like an Anthony Hopkins thing, like nice person, real life and stuff, and then on camera, crazy, furious masturbator, sexual deviant with a no good husband.
So after this heartwarming scene, you assholes, Harry attacks Peter.
yeah.
I didn't kill your father! He was trying to kill me! He killed himself! Shut up!
They got a little. We talked about this with the Matrix sequels.
I thought we weren't going to talk about masturbation anymore. Harry attacking his Peter. What's going on?
You know that actually happens in this movie. Someone calls him Peter Pecker.
Yeah, Peckel.
Heck yeah.
Peckel.
Oh yeah, it's Bruce Campbell. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, anyway, we're Tony.
Peckel.
Get back here. Hey, watch out for the dead corpse over there.
Sorry.
Harry attacked Peter.
Yeah, this movie has the problem of they show you something and it happens the very next fucking scene.
Yeah.
They just showed Harry looking at the gear.
Well, not the very next scene. They did that Aunt May to break it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like one to the other. Like it happens a lot.
Yeah.
But this also though is a great scene where he's
My only issue is this was a problem with a lot of movies at this point. They got a little overconfident in the CGI like faces, and Tobey Maguire looks terrible.
Now, this movie is very CGI and not in a good way.
It looks the stuff in the costumes is fine.
Yeah.
'Cause a lot of it's at night, but like when they see like their face, it looks like the Matrix Revolutions when like
Yeah.
Mr. Smith gets put. Like this is like that's not a real person.
I do like him trying to catch the ring the whole time. Like where
Yeah,
it's
that's really
falling,
good.
and he's
I actually
like,
really enjoy
like,
that. With
that was a tense scene.
yeah, and Harry looks terrible as New Goblin.
Yeah,
That was the character's official name, the New Goblin.
New Goblin.
Wait, like
new metal.
Like NU.
yeah,
Yes.
like new metal.
Well, here's the thing. All right,
they
so
play like Linkin Park when he comes in.
yeah, so clearly Norman, who I finally got the chair for the action figure.
Yeah.
Norman, like they established in that film, it's real subtle that he like likes masks.
Yeah.
He's got the thing for like weird masks. He's cool with it. Harry doesn't have that, so I understand his outfit not being as like like flamboyant, if you will. But then just call him Harry. Don't even call him New Goblin because
Yeah.
it's nothing is goblin about
Yeah,
it.
it is pretty dumb. He could have been like, I don't know.
He's like, I'm not about the whole like goblin mask thing. I just need to kill you.
I'm
Like,
not
think
about
that's-
that goblin life.
yeah.
yeah.
I think that's just because when they were making an action figure of it, like if you're gonna buy a Harry action figure,
You know, because that's way cooler. Like if the Hobgoblin comes or the Green Goblin comes back, then Parker has to be like, is it my friend or am I seeing things or what's going on? Did he not really die? Like there's more stuff you could build into that. Like if this was a longer movie and this was the main antagonist, but it wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah, it's annoying.
Yeah.
And I get people didn't like the first outfit, even though it's coming back. I do like that they show him with like a purple cape around him in No Way Home.
Yeah. Also, let's say Spider-Man did kill Norman Osborn. Who gives a fuck? He's an evil criminal who killed like 90 people.
I mentioned that in the beginning. Harry should have been like, oh no.
Oh, great. You stopped a crime. Thanks. Sorry my dad was an asshole.
People are very forgiving of their parents, even when they're assholes. So, yeah.
I know a few people that need to forgive their fathers.
Definitely.
Like Harry Osborn.
What is the green lightsaber blade?
I don't know.
We see it later and it looks like just like a regular razor. Why is it glowing?
I guess it's like a heat knife or something. I don't know.
Also, is this like stuff that when did Norman build the Goblin Lair? And like
make swords and stuff.
And make swords and stuff.
The thing is, I think that was also too because like
also Harry's not a scientist. How is he making this shit?
That's true.
In the second movie, they said he was in charge of the new whatever division.
Yeah. Unless the performance enhancers increase his brain and he can make stuff.
Well,
that can also be a thing.
They show like a screen of it like getting bigger and stuff. Maybe they left like some sort of notes or whatever.
Oh, I forgot to mention. So when Mary Jane's talking to Peter after the play, she's like, "What's up with you and Harry?" And I'm like, "He didn't tell her. He didn't tell her girlfriend. Like, oh, by the way, Harry's dad was the fucking Green Goblin."
That is kind of weird.
That is weird.
And she's like, "Yeah, what's up with you guys?" It's like, Peter, you should probably tell this woman everything.
She knows about Spider-Man, so why wouldn't you just tell her everything?
Yeah, it's weird. Where are we at here? Oh, so this fight is actually kind of fun with him chasing him with like the razors and stuff.
It's all right.
It ends when Peter clotheslines Harry.
Yeah, basically, like he pulls one of those fucking like where
like Looney Tunes.
Like he basically snaps his neck.
Dude, if his head came off, that would have been funny.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so he like fucking gets wrecked.
I laughed out loud.
It's pretty funny. But here's the thing. So he had to have stripped him naked to bring him to the hospital. Also, where did the board go? Because when the board, like they show like when Harry gets knocked off the glider, it like beeps and goes crazy and goes right back to him.
It probably flew home.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, did Peter like web up the board and like, oh god, like
maybe.
So that means like Peter just went to the hospital, like, help, my naked friend got hit, and then he's like, yeah, it was a hit and run. It's like, were you naked? What the fuck?
It's like you ever see Kick-Ass?
Yeah.
When he's like, throw away all my stuff, and the dad's like, oh, they found you naked and you were in a hit and run or something like that. Like,
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and at that point, Flint Marco's on the run from the cops, and he falls into a
sandy boy, whatever
an experiment on sand, a particle accelerator or something.
I don't know if that's what you call it.
Yeah.
They're doing some science shit, but there's no camera, so they just think a bird.
Oh, yeah, so that's the thing, what is it called? How It Should Have Ended years ago made fun of that, where they're like, it's probably a bird, and they're like, why don't we go out and check? And they're like, oh, there's a guy down there.
There's a guy who fell into the sand machine that we have.
You're right, they should have a camera being like, oh, yeah, there's a guy.
I think it would have been funny if they saw the camera and they're like, fuck it. Turn it on.
Here's the experiment.
Yeah.
So they fire up the machine and it turns him into sand.
Yeah.
We see it like go into like his molecules and rewrite his DNA.
This is a cool scene. And then the later stuff with him, like all the sand effects, especially at this time with 3D animation stuff, are very well done.
Oh, they had to create technology for this.
Yeah. Because it's a crazy. Particle systems at this point.
Yeah.
Were not fucking like good.
Well, it's a science fiction.
Well, no, but I mean particle systems in 3D.
Oh, I thought you meant like
they were shit. Like
particles, like things.
Yeah, no, I got you.
So this was like I'm pretty sure it's kind of like Mummy Returns. They had to make a whole bunch of stuff for all the like fighting that was going on.
Yeah,
like where each individual thing is like doing something different and shit.
Yeah, and I thought it was a cool scene. I like he's holding on to the bracelet as he's like turning into sand.
Yeah.
What was it? A locket.
A locket, yeah.
Which is weird. Why doesn't the locket turn into sand?
It doesn't have
DNA, but sand doesn't have DNA.
But also his shirt, I don't know.
Unless sand does have DNA, we're walking around a bunch of fucking dead.
He's wearing wool, which is organic.
Everything is wool on him.
Yeah,
apparently.
that's true.
Wool and cotton.
Gotcha.
Cotton's a plant.
Leather shoes,
which is organic.
Yeah.
Good call.
Yep.
Harry has amnesia and he loves Peter.
This is very helpful.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's like, Pete, I got hit. Is my
Harry
dad
has
dead?
amnesia,
You're the best.
and he loves Peter.
Yeah, James Franco, kind of creep.
I met James Franco, and we creeped him out.
Yeah. Wow, you got him.
Yeah.
So
he dropped a bunch of condoms in front of us.
What?
He casually walked through the room and tripped and dropped a bunch of condoms out of his pockets, and we were like,
was he trying to hint at you something?
I don't know.
He was like, "Hey Tony, I'm James Franco. I know that impresses you. You want to come home and maybe we can
No, he didn't
watch
like
basketball together or something?"
Yeah, was James Franco like, "Oh, can you hand me one of those and then pick up the other two for me?"
No, we eventually
While you're down there,
we eventually pranked him, and he didn't like it. That was on my old job. Anyway, yeah, he's a creep. He's like, you have really good friends. He's like the best.
yeah. Everyone overacts in this,
Especially him.
where it's like, it's frightening.
Flint Marko resurrects himself as the Sandman. People
is
really
now,
like this scene. What do you think?
It's cool.
Does anyone ever call him the Sandman? Because usually,
Yeah, later in the movie.
Later
yeah,
in the movie they call
he's
him
the only villain that gets named in the movie.
All right.
It's only once.
Because usually Jay Jonah was making him up like in the headlines.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Yeah.
the Green Goblin. It's the Spider-Man. It's the
Yeah, they don't do that in this one. But yeah, the Sandman is building himself back better, and he picks up the locket. And I do like the idea of like, oh, the love of his daughter is like what's getting him the will to reform himself.
Yeah.
The effect hasn't aged super well.
It's not bad.
The rest of the Sandman effects are great. This one,
No,
it's
I like the close up and then coming out of the sand.
Yeah.
I like how his hand falls apart and he has to try again.
Yeah, no, I like the idea of the scene of him.
You mean when he transformed from sand to walking?
That also looks bad. I just think like the digital model, it looks a little too like video gamey.
I like back at the control room. They're like, huh, that bird's back.
Oh, yeah, what did
Sand
they-
is getting up
What
and
did they
walking
do with
away.
the sand? Did anyone take a sample of that sand? Like,
What is that even machine? What is that machine supposed to even fucking do?
I don't even
What is
know.
the scientific application
So-
of a sand
So
machine?
the
Like,
sand in that scene might have been like to negate something else or whatever. It might not have been there to like that's the part of the thing, you know? It might have been.
but
I don't
it's
know what they're doing.
magical sand that turns a man into Sandman.
yes.
Like it's stupid.
Maybe we'll find out in the new
In my
movie. 'cause
opinion,
Sandman's back in the new
Sandman
movie.
shouldn't be fucking in this movie. He's
Wait a
the
minute.
stupidest part of this movie.
What happened if that wasn't sand? What if it's just like 7,000 dead birds?
He's dead bird.
Another
man.
bird!
Man.
That would be even creepier if you think about it. Imagine a fucking giant, massive, floating dead
Yeah.
bird.
Well, that explains why Sandman can fly.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like Sam Raimi really likes Sandman, and so did
Yeah.
Tobey Maguire. So they really want to do
How
Sandman.
did Sandman get formed in the comics?
Probably something similar. Probably
He was in
experiment gone
but
wrong.
it makes sense in the comics because they could just be like, "Fuck it." He gets in a machine. And it's a sandy
It's
machine.
like
It turns him into
Sandman, Clayface, it's the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think it's weird that Peter and Mary Jane aren't living together. Mary Jane like goes to his apartment and she's talking about like the horrible reviews they've gotten.
Wow, people can live apart. What
I
the
mean,
fuck's your
it
problem?
could-
No, but it's like his apartment fucking sucks, and she has a big apartment.
But he's Spider-Man. So he might be like, I need to keep, I want to live with you and we can hang out and shit, but in case someone follows me home one day and you're here and then they murder you.
But then they could just be like, "Oh, he's dating Mary Jane. We know."
Well, wait,
that.
why don't they just all move into Harry's place? They never see each other in that.
Because
Well,
he hates
Harry,
him.
at this point, his memories have just come back.
Oh,
They
yeah.
I know.
hated
Like,
each other.
Hey, bro. Oh, your memories are gone? Oh, didn't we tell you? We moved in together a month
Oh,
ago.
yeah, we were living like.
Yeah, you moved into my place. Weird, right? I need a goblin lair.
But yeah, she tells him that the reviews of the play are negative. Her voice doesn't carry past the first row.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they fire her, but she doesn't know until
What?
she's
No,
Oh,
she's
that
not
part's
fired
rough.
yet. Not
Oh.
fired yet.
Right.
But then Peter tries to help and relate to her by bringing up Spider-Man, and she's not having any of that
Which,
shit.
in my opinion, he went through 2 fucking movies of everybody hating him
Yeah.
and all that shit. I think she should be like, you know what? You're
She's
right.
kind
It's
of-
temporary.
Kind of being a bitch.
It goes back and forth. In this, I do like this
I think
movie
you know
tried
what
to
it
give
is?
her more to do.
I think everyone, in the first 2 movies, Mary Jane is so cool. She's the popular girl in school. She's dating a fucking astronaut. All this shit. Like she's on in a play. She does one bad play, fucking crumbles.
Yeah.
What a lame.
Fucking
Like Spider-Man killed. He fought the Green Goblin. He saved the universe basically because Dr. Octopus created a fucking sun on
Yeah.
Earth. Saves that shit. Saves her multiple times. And she's all like, "Oh, my play sucks." And he's like, "Well, back in the day, everyone hated me, and the newspaper used to print a bunch of fake news about me."
He's trying to be helpful, and supportive,
but she's still like, "I don't fuck Spider-Man.
I'm jealous of Spider-Man."
Yeah, he's being helpful and supportive, and big shock, guys. It has to do with her dad.
Oh,
she goes, "Every time I hear these reviews, it just reminds me of my father."
She needs to forgive her father.
That's like when I read the negative reviews on Hack the Movies. Someone leaves an awful comment, and I think it's my own father saying, Tony looks 55.
Rock and Rob.
Yeah.
My dad wouldn't leave mean comments. My dad would be pretty stoked.
Nice video, Kieran.
He'd be like, "Oh, Kieran, great video."
My dad's like, "Oh, you doing that thing?"
Yeah.
Yeah, Dad.
Like, "You want a free sandwich?"
Yeah, there's a crane that malfunctions.
Yeah.
And
she's all like,
wait. What did you say?
A crane.
You said like crane.
A crane.
You said something weird.
Play the video back.
There's a crane that malfunctions.
There's a crane that malfunctions.
A crane
and Spider-Man's, and she's like, "Oh," and he's like, "Look, I gotta go save the city."
Oh, you gotta go help
She's
that
like,
fucking crane.
"I had a bad YouTube comment." No, but it was like back in the day before YouTube comments, so it was just a newspaper.
YouTube was around at this point.
It was, but it wasn't like what it is.
Someone stuck into her play and recorded it on their Helio and uploaded it. It took 10 hours to
on their
upload
Sidekick, they flipped it open and were texting.
Yeah. So the crane is like freaking out. It breaks into a building where Gwen Stacy happens to be modeling.
Why is she
on
modeling?
a copy machine?
Why not?
Because she's like really good looking.
It's Bryce Dallas Howard.
Oh, I thought it was January Jones.
No, it's Bryce Dallas Howard.
January Jones.
The girl from Mad Men.
Was she?
She was in X-Men First Class.
X-Men First. That's what I'm thinking of. Okay. She was.
I mean, I do like both, but
the BDH. Because she's in the Jurassic World movies. What else is she in?
Oh, that's her?
Yeah.
The one who plays Gwen Stacy is
yeah,
in the
so
Jurassic
that was the
World
ironic
movies?
thing was Kirsten Dunst has blonde hair, Bryce Dallas has red hair, and then in this movie they switched
They switch, yeah.
Weird. Yeah. It's Bryce Dallas Howard.
Isn't
Before
she-
she had
so
that
she's-
mommy thickness.
So she's fucking Ron Howard's daughter?
Well, she's not fucking Ron Howard's daughter. She is Ron Howard's fucking daughter.
She is Ron Howard's fucking daughter.
Yeah.
And you know that's happening because she got pregnant.
Yeah.
Not with Ron Howard. Come on,
not
guys.
That
You guys are overcomplicated.
I met Ron Howard one time at a Mets game.
How was that?
Ron Howard's
was cool.
fucking complicating this with all this incest shit he's up to.
he was wearing an Apollo 13 hat.
Oh,
and,
cool.
My dad was like, "Go get an autograph. It's Ron Howard. It's Richie Cunningham from Happy Days." And I was like, "Okay, Dad." I was like, "I don't know who the fuck that is." I'm like,
Did you get an
I'm
autograph?
Like 5, yeah. I went down. Or I think I was like 8 or 9 when it happened. But I went down, got the autograph. He signed my baseball ticket.
I was in Wawa yesterday at 1 in the morning to get the little snack for my Spider-Man 3 watching, and some guy's like, "Hey," and I'm like, "Hey." He's like, "Are you on the Cinemassacre podcast?" And I said, "No."
You should have said, "No, I'm the guy from Malcolm in the Middle."
Yeah.
Oh God.
No, I said yeah. Shook his hand and said what up and whatever. But I was just like,
Did you take a picture with him?
no.
How do I know it happened?
That's a good point.
I take a picture with anyone
Maybe
I
go
meet.
see if he posted on the Reddit and was like, "Met one of the slobs at Wawa."
Remember? Oh, okay. So it was deleted. Little side tangent. The last MagFest I went to, a guy was in the bathroom with me.
Yeah.
And I'm like washing my hands extra because it's MagFest. And he's like, "Hey, you're like Tony, man." I'm like, "Yeah, what's up?" And he's like, "Oh, man, it's nice to meet you." And I'm like, "Okay, hold on." He's like, puts his hand out to shake. And I'm like, "Give me a second." And I shake his hand. I'm like, "Cool, nice meeting you, whatever." And then I get back to the table and Justin's just like, "Did you just meet a guy in a bathroom?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "It's on Reddit." And then I open up the Reddit. He's like, "Just met Tony. He was too scared to shake my hand." I'm like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Did you wash your hand a second time after touching that guy's hand?
Maybe.
You should.
Everybody needs to stop.
By the way, his Reddit picture was his actual picture, so I knew who he was. And later on, I put him in a video as Joker fan, and I made sure he said all these nice things, and he was too scared, and then he deleted everything from Reddit afterwards.
God.
So yeah.
Don't go up to somebody washing their hands in a bathroom.
Yeah, wait till like they're
just
done
weird
washing their
either way.
hands. Jesus Christ. Anyway, we also meet Captain Stacy, who is Zephram Cochrane from First Contact.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say it's Mr. Hoggett from Babe.
Yes, both of those.
Yeah. But yeah, it is Zephram.
This movie has a very big thing of coincidences where it's like, oh,
You think?
my daughter I'm the police captain and my daughter's have an issue right now.
Oh, and I'm about to meet her boyfriend, the late Topher Grace, Eddie
Topher
Brock,
Grace.
who's like, that's Gwen Stacy, your daughter. By the way, I'm her boyfriend. That was very, very convoluted.
Yeah.
But this scene's fun of him rescuing her from the crane.
Yeah.
I like that she like falls out the way. I like when he grabs her right before the two like concrete slabs hit.
Yeah, it's a good scene. I think the only thing that bothers me about it is there's something about like when it hits the windows and all the glass flies out that just looks like all movies look like that look kind of crappy.
Oh, I was sad. Like all the glass and all the stuff fell down and it crushed 2 hot dog carts.
Oh yeah, and the one person explodes backwards from the impact of the thing.
Those are 2 like what Sabarit hot dog carts. Those are good hot dogs, kosher.
Like Hebrew National.
Yeah.
Do you think this was a conspiracy against the Jewish people? Because there's a part later on.
It usually is.
There's a part later on where they have a very unique way to show that Spider-Man is evil, which we'll talk about. I don't know if you caught onto that. You know what scene I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
We'll get there.
So yeah, he saves Gwen. The scene looks awesome. Eddie meets Spider-Man. He's like, hey, I'm the new photographer. And I'm going to be taking your pictures. Forget Peter Parker. He makes you look fat.
Yeah. I like how douchey he is.
Yeah, and Spider-Man's like, what?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, they had to make him really douchey because, Topher Grace is like a nerdy, like they're very, like those are 2 guys that would be auditioning for the same role on different things.
Yeah.
So it's weird to see them because, you think of Eddie Brock as like a bigger, like...
Yeah, well, like I said, they changed it in the comics to kind of make them more alike.
And for some reason, I always confuse Eddie Brock for Flash sometimes, just because they're both sometimes muscle bound.
Actually, in this movie, Flash Thompson's in it for like.
I have that.
Second.
Yeah, I have that at the very end.
I didn't notice it until I was watching it again the other day,
No.
and I was like, "Holy shit!" They threw him in the background like in this one scene. Like,
but yeah, I just don't think I don't like his blonde hair.
Yeah.
Topher Grace's obvious blonde
hair.
But
I mean, I think that was it's to make him more look like Eddie Brock, because Eddie Brock in the comics had the blonde, like, flat top. But also I think it's because he needed to radiate douchiness. And I think
true.
It really helped.
This is 2007. He really needed the cell phone clipped to his waist.
The chain.
Yeah.
That's like, and Jessica, can you show this picture? When Kieran had blonde hair.
I didn't have, that wasn't
and frosted tips. Look at
it. I hate that.
You might have to send that picture again.
Please don't show the picture. I hate it.
There's that picture. Here it is.
God, it's
right
such
here.
a horrible
If you guys
picture
could
of me.
post that on social media.
I hate that picture. I look like such a weirdo.
So back at the Bugle, Ted Raimi is doing a horrible presentation for the new catchphrase for the Daily Bugle.
It's
hip, it's now, it's wow, and how.
I hate it.
And he's got 2 busty chicks next to him.
Oh yeah.
They brought back. We noticed in Spider-Man 2, like if there's a girl who's an extra in these movies, they're all like insanely gorgeous and kind of busty. I don't know what the hell was going on there.
You leave Ted Raimi alone.
I guess when you have a movie and you're like kind of a lecherous weirdo, your whole thing is like the reason why you're making movies is just to get girls with boobs to show.
I mean, that's not the
boobs.
reason for everyone to make a movie.
No, but I'm just saying there's some people out there that are lecherous weirdos that get into movie making business and they just want to have boobs in their movie.
I love that J. Jonah Jameson, his blood pressure's high, so he can't scream, and they have the constant buzzer stopping him.
I don't like.
You don't like
it's
this?
Just too much. I just think it's unnecessary. I think it's it's funny. It's fine.
You don't like your expectations being subverted.
No, but it's like it's not even that. It's just that it's too much, and it's just like it's out of nowhere. There's a few scenes in this movie that watching the first 2 movies are just out of fucking nowhere. They don't seem to fit, and this is one of the parts of the movie that doesn't fit. But I do like J. Jonah Jameson having to be calm. I think that's funny.
This would have been funny if he had like a huge explosion at the end of the movie. If he was saving it and then he just doesn't.
No.
I wanted him to go Clark Griswold at the end of this movie.
Yeah,
like, fucking
funny,
Spider-Man, then I have a heart attack.
No, I think this scene goes a little too much. I think it would have been, I think the first buzz was funny. And I think it would have been funnier like a couple more, maybe.
Yeah.
Like 3, rule of 3s.
Yes.
But that, it buzzes like 8 times and it's always the same reaction. And it's just kind of like, all right, I get it. The scene is just dragging now.
Yeah, this movie has an unfortunate thing where it either overdoes a lot of stuff or underdoes things.
Yeah.
One of the things that underdoes is this subplot where Eddie Brock wants a staff job with the Daily Bugle, and Peter thinks he deserves it more because he's been there longer.
Which he fucking does, and that's true.
Yeah, but you know what a staff photographer job at a newspaper is? That doesn't pay shit.
Yeah, but neither does the freelancing.
By the way, I do like that, like, J. Jonah will never consider it for Peter, but then Eddie Brock's like, I really want to work for J. Jonah Jameson.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, okay.
Well, that's what I like is that he uses the douchey. Like, he's an asshole. He played a really good asshole. Topher Grace is also, too, like, I grew up watching that 70s show. I fucking love that show. And Topher Grace, when he left to do this movie, the show totally went downhill. And then they tried to, like, make it all about, what's his name? Hyde and Kelso. And
that didn't age well.
Oh, yeah, huh?
Oops.
I forgot about that. That's weird. Actually, a whole bunch of That 70s Show cast are like fucking weirdos now, huh?
Yeah. So J. Jonah tells them that they can get the staff job if they catch Spider-Man in the act doing something illegal.
Yeah.
And Peter's so sure he's gonna beat Eddie to this, but it's like, but Peter, you have to. Oh, my problem with this is like, Peter, you're like in college to be like this brilliant scientist. Like, maybe start finding like career, like look for a job in that career. The photography thing in this universe was only supposed to be temporary. You want a career as like, you want to become like a doctor or a scientist or something.
It's kind of like what they do with the video game. Like in the game, Peter is he's working for Otto Octavius as a scientist, and and that's why he's struggling. But then Mary Jane was a reporter, and she was like the photographer, kind of. It's like they took that, like they kind of did that.
And no, I get him, doing the photos to make ends meet and whatnot. But it's like, but long term, like your career is in science. Who gives a shit about just move in with Mary Jane?
Yeah.
Get a job as a waiter. I don't know. And just come on.
Probably doesn't want to move in with Mary Jane, seeing as her fucking play is garbage and like she's going to lose her job pretty soon anyway.
And you can't move in with Aunt May with all that noise at night.
Yeah, right. That's just haunting.
I need pictures of Aunt May furiously masturbating.
We get a nice scene with Stan Lee.
Yeah.
Where he's like, I hear people can make a difference.
Yeah, one person can make a difference. Excelsior.
Yeah.
True believer.
Man, poor him. Elder abuse and stuff. And that sucks. And that's going on with the Nichelle Nichols right now from Star Trek.
Yeah, you showed me that weird video.
Yeah.
Harry is welcomed home by Bernard.
Yeah.
Who I don't think has had a close-up in the previous 2 films.
Yeah, he's just like, oh, hello, I'm a bumbling weirdo. He's fucking weird.
He's shitty Alfred.
Yeah.
Yes.
He is like Alfred if Alfred was like high on like a lot of weird drugs in like 10 years before and his brain was fucked now.
He says weird stuff because he like knows about the whole thing.
We'll get into that shit show.
He's like, I loved your father as I have loved you. Except I actually went down on your dad a couple times.
Peter and Harry.
I pulled the sheet away and realized his groin was pounded in.
Harry
cleaning his wounds.
God damn it! Harry and Peter try to reconnect. They're like, "Oh, I brought the old basketball back, and we're friends." Like, do you have any girlfriends? He's like, "Bernard, do I have any girlfriends?" He's like, "No."
Yeah, he's like,
You should be like, you should be like, "You're a fucking weirdo, Harry." And then they talk about his dad for a bit in front of that chair.
Yeah.
That chair makes a
and
cameo.
the weird fucking like painting they got.
Yeah, so you had the painting of him in the chair,
and then the chair
in the painting is next to the painting.
Yeah, I like that. And then this is where Mary Jane finds out she's being fired, on the day,
which is like really a rough. I like how the guy's like, honey, he's like, that was really poorly handled because she basically walks in.
So like I don't know much about musical theater or nothing, but even with the best person coming down the stairs, this looks like a shitty play.
Yeah. Is that like the only scene in it too? Because it doesn't seem like there's like a way to change the scene. It's just a fucking stairway.
Yes,
a dark ass stairway that they all hang out on.
It looks like an award show.
Are you in stage crew?
I don't know. I mean, I used to be.
For Broadway, though?
No,
Come
for
on.
like a
In college,
For
I was the
community
assistant
college?
director on the Mad Woman of Chaillot play.
I
So I
pinched
know all about it.
I pinched the webbing on my hand on a scaffolding really bad one time.
Anyway, they fire her, and to save her public embarrassment, they come up with a lie for why she's getting fired, even though the truth is she sucks. But they're like, you're sick. We'll blame it on your health or something.
Yeah, they fire her. And then, like, when she's leaving, you see they cover
like as she's walking.
I love, too, that she walks out and she thinks everyone's clapping for her. Like,
But it's
nobody's
for
clapping
Spider-Man.
for you,
They're
dumbass.
clapping for Spider-Man. And they walk by, they put the name up. I think it was something Reuben.
Yeah.
Jew.
Reminder, Justin Silverman said that.
Yes, Justin.
Not Kieran.
Justin is of
or
the Jewish
Antonio.
faith.
It was Justin
I'm just
Silverman.
happy to see another good Jew take a job from a goyim. A shiksa goyim scumbag like Mary Jane.
Wait, isn't Mary Jane? What is Watson? Is that British?
That's something.
I'm fine with it if it's British. But
Spider-Man is going to get the key to the city for saving the captain's daughter, and there's a big celebration. At the same time, Sandman is getting into a fight with the police, and he turns into a giant. And I think I remember in the trailers, in the trailers where he's like roaring, they either use Godzilla or the T-Rex from Jurassic Park.
Also,
it's not in the movie, just the trailer specifically. They use those.
The one cop is from Il Padrino in
you know what?
Mayans.
I was looking at clips from Venom.
Yeah.
I think he's the guy Venom eats at the end of the movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
He's
That would be
just
weird if
in
he
the
just, like,
Spider-Verse. We're going to find out if that was the same actor.
Crime.
We're in the Across the Spider-Verse.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can't
also,
wait.
I want to bring something up. This might happen. Because Into the Spider-Verse is still a Sony joint, right?
Mm-hmm.
I could see... Imagine animated Morales in the new movie. Like, they show that as well. Like, they just connect it all. Fully.
Maybe.
I mean, it could. They do have in the video game where you can play as the Peter Parker from that.
Because it's Across the Spider-Verse, because they just announced that the part 1 and part 2.
Yeah.
I hate parts for things.
Also,
by the way.
I'm
There might
so
be a little-
mad I did not... I think I sold a bunch of my 2099 comics, and I had the first, like, 20 issues.
Oh, yeah.
And if I had known everybody was going to be flipping out about Spider-Man 2099 because, you know...
Did you end up
fucking
watching?
Hated Spider-Man.
Did you end up
2099
watching
for
the
years.
post credits for Spider-Verse?
Yes, yeah,
okay.
it was funny, yeah.
Because you're like, there's a post
No, but
credit.
it's like I had the 20. I loved Spider-Man 2099 in the like in the 90s. I used to have the action figure of it. Like I had a whole bunch of stuff, and then everyone was like, "This fucking sucks. 2099, such a gimmick." Blah 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 blah. And then I never thought like in any year Spider-Man 2099 would be a thing.
Well, now it is.
Yeah, and also he has cooler powers because he actually has like fucking like knives that come out of his finger. His whole thing is like his fingertips come out like a spike, so he can go like. But you can use him as a weapon too.
Yeah,
that's cool.
He looks like a Spawn character.
Well, so the
does.
thing is, he's not actually wearing a costume of Spider-Man. It's just a Halloween costume. He grabs at one point. It's like a Death's Head costume. He says, but it was because he needed something because he found it. He was he found out he had a fucking spider powers. All of a sudden, he had to change.
At the
award ceremony.
award
Or whatever
ceremony,
it is, yeah.
Harry talks to Mary Jane for a bit. He's
Yeah.
like, I made you a play.
He's like, I wrote you a play. It sucks probably worse than your play.
Now the thing is, I don't like bringing up a lot of modern terms in this, like simping,
Yeah.
cucking, cringe. You know, I don't like. There's way smarter, funner terms, but there's a lot of everything going on in this film.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is weird. Peter swings in as Spider-Man.
Yeah. This
Swings
part
upside
actually
down.
bothers me a lot in this movie.
Yes. And then he's like, let's give him a show. Why don't you kiss me?
Yeah, plant one on me. They'll love it.
And it's like, and by the way, he doesn't have the black suit on yet.
No.
This is weird for him to do. Like, he should know.
It's because Dr. Connor said the symbiote increases aggression. So he already has these feelings of being the guy now. And
Because
enhances it.
this is like Rocky 3. The fame is getting to his head.
Yeah. But it's still
he's
like,
gonna need
I
to be
feel
humbled.
like Peter, as a person and all he's gone through and how he feels, would go, I don't know if making out with this girl on stage in front of 100-something people and also my current girlfriend.
By the way, the girl I go to school with.
Yeah. And it's like he knows her and shit. It's kind of weird.
I will say this as someone, and we've brought up earlier about my ex-wife and stuff. As someone that's been on all sides of the cheating triangle, I don't consider this cheating. right here. I think it was a bad decision.
Oh,
Bad
I think it's a
decision.
real
And I
bad
think that-
decision. No, I wouldn't say that this is straight up cheating, but it's also like that's like really weird. And it's not like he's like acting or anything. It's like he's going up there and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna make out with her."
she has to pull. What was to stop her from taking down the whole?
Yeah, what if
mask?
they just like? What if it was all a big ploy? And
right.
She just unmasked
She's just
him?
like, whoop.
And
then she's like, "Oh my god, Peter!"
and it reveals that he's white. That's going to narrow down the search for Spider-Man. How many white people are in New York?
I mean, to be fair,
a lot,
a whole
like a good amount.
I don't.
a whole subway train of people saw him.
That's
and
true.
They decided to keep quiet.
Yeah, but now everyone knows he's white, which actually,
Spider-Man's mask is always off at some point in these movies too.
Yeah. So Eddie Brock's going around like, oh, I'm gonna get a shot of him. I'm gonna get a shot of him. I'm gunning for him. And Peter Parker's just constantly walking around without a mask on, like on top of buildings, like close by.
Oh wait, but this is also when Gwen Stacy tells Eddie Brock, she's like, "We had coffee."
Oh, we had coffee, yeah, and he's
So
all
they're
like,
not actually dating. So
yeah.
he's like, he has this gorgeous woman. He's going around town saying they're doing all this stuff, but it's like, no.
Also, her dad's
You're
like
just a
hot.
liar.
And like he told her dad that too.
Yeah, he told her dad.
Farmer Hoggett, and then he's gonna be like, "Bah ram you, bah ram you." It's like, you know, from
Yeah.
Babe.
You know, from Babe, Pig
From
in the
Babe,
City.
Pig in the City, yeah.
Sandman attacks, and Spider-Man's got to stop him.
Yeah.
He's attacking an armored transport carrying a bunch of money. I do like when Spider-Man punches him. They actually
Yeah.
got like not an amputee. It was a guy who was born without a right hand.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they have him in the suit so they could do like that punch. That's pretty cool.
I thought this was actually one of the coolest like fights in the movie.
Yeah, it's a fun
I think
fight
it's
scene.
Pretty good.
It seems like it's something out of the
Yeah.
comics.
I like when he kicks his legs and his legs just turn to dust.
And I think it was like corn grain that they used as sand in there.
corn grain
or something like that.
Yeah, because you probably don't want to use like,
Actual sand. You can
'cause
suffocate.
have you guys ever look up grain death?
No.
Yeah.
Grain death rules. So a ton of times a year, people die of grain death. And that's when you're like walking around the top of your silo and you're making sure everything's good. You're like walking around the grain. But it's like quicksand.
Yeah.
Like you don't think about it because it's so rough.
Oh.
And you'll break through and you'll just slowly go in and you can't get out. And then you just slowly suffocate and then your dead body kind of just floats
Yeah.
down to the bottom
Basically,
of the
like,
silo.
That's
The weight of
horrifying.
all the grain pushes it so your chest can't inflate. So you're just like this, like
yeah,
There's they have precautions.
There's a whole because as you breathe out, like the grain keeps pushing, so you just go.
and
Oh
you
my
just can't
God.
breathe in again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then you're also breathing in grain.
That's horrifying.
So like your cornflakes might have like farmer, dead farmer in them.
Yeah, Jessica, find a picture of there's a whole Wikipedia page on
Don't
grain,
make Jessica look that
Can
up.
we
That's
not?
horrible.
on grain death.
It's bad enough she has to edit these videos where famous celebrities are dying in the store. She didn't sign up for this, and you want her to
elderly
watch.
women are
I've seen-
furiously masturbating.
I've seen a video where it's like pigeons that are on top of it, and the pigeons are eating the grain, but they're slowly going, "Ah," and then they just disappear
Oh
into
my
it. So
God.
could you imagine like you're eating like cornflakes and like pigeons?
You think I would just like install like ladders randomly?
Yeah,
in
you'd
there?
have to like you'd
Yeah.
have to like. Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like, but you need like something in the middle because it's like if you're in the middle, like where you're gonna grab a ladder. Like a silo is like fucking as big as this room is,
Yeah.
and you're in the middle.
So
You're-
anyway,
you're gone.
the
They won't
ar-
find you until they empty that out, and they're mashing up the flakes, and
Ugh.
all of a sudden Farmer Tony's just
the
wadded up in there.
The armored car
Completely blue.
guys
Yes.
are gonna die of grain death, but they get them out of there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Spider-Man saves them. And then Sandman just gives up and goes away.
Yeah,
Seems like he could just grab those bags and fly away. But
Yeah.
he's like, Spider-Man's.
and then Spider-Man's like, I have sand in my shoes.
Well,
Oh, I do like when he's shaking out the sand and spits. I like that cut. He's like,
Yeah.
Peter talks to Bruce Campbell,
Yep.
who would have been revealed as Mysterio if they did the fourth movie. Well, we mentioned that in Spider-Man 2.
that would have been fun.
But yeah, he's the
maitre d.
yeah, he's the French waiter, or
Yeah.
the maitre d.
Maitre d.
Maitre d.
Yeah. I think he's actually really funny in this part.
Yeah, no, I think he's funny too.
It's a little over the top, but it's not as over the top as others, and it's
The
really
problem
funny.
with the Bruce Campbell thing here is it doesn't pay off. Like we'll talk about like towards the end of the scene, but like it's really, really, really well set up, and there's a lot of little jokes where he's like, "Go in, go out, go in, wrong
Yeah.
time," but
Yeah.
it doesn't pay off fully.
yeah.
It's kind of like there's no like punchline. It's just like, "Oh, he got it and she wasn't there. It's not like the wrong person got the ring inside a thing. It's not
I think they wanted to balance the comedy and sadness. So that's the whole thing. Peter's trying to propose to Mary Jane. He's gonna do the ring in the cup.
I like when he gives him the ring and he like pulls the glass and he goes, "Oh, hello," and he like waves to the diamond like it's all tiny and stuff.
Yeah.
They're gonna.
What is with that? Like putting a ring in a champagne flute.
Yeah. Could you imagine they like swallow it and it's like, well, we'll wait a couple hours and I'll pop the question.
I like the videos of people where they propose on like a rushing river and they always drop it in the water. It's like, dude, are you dumb? Don't do that. Don't like. Let's propose on
That's funny. You should do that. Get like a fake ring that's like a huge diamond. Like, oh no, that was a.
I'm gonna propose to somebody one day on a sewer grate. Or a subway fucking thing or something like that.
I forgot. I was up in my office. I was talking to someone, and I was looking up Pokemon rings. I have a lot of Gengar luxury items, as you know, some rings. And I was looking it up, and I was on Disney's website and stuff. And on the one site, you can get a Hello Kitty diamond ring for $16,000 or something. And on Disney's site, they have a few on there for like $12,000 or $13,000.
Wow!
So imagine if you drop that in the
I'm
river.
going to report anyone who buys that.
You know what?
Starting with you.
Imagine if you had a few drinks on It's a Small World, and now
you're drinking around the
$20,000 ring is.
All right. So during the date, Mary Jane's upset. She has still not told him that she got fired, which is on her. Bad communication.
She's all pissed off again because she's Mary Jane, and you know,
and
she's like, I didn't get paid as much as Peter Parker.
My dad. So she shows up already pissed, and Peter's once again trying to be supportive and helpful.
Yes.
Because she can't forgive her father, she does not listen to him. And then out of nowhere, fucking Gwen Stacy shows up, and it's like this is like the worst. Is Gwen Stacy secretly a villain who just keeps popping up?
This almost tops the scene from Spider-Man 2 where Peter's at the dinner, and it's like Peter's there. He gets slapped he gets bitch slapped by Harry twice in front of a crowd of people, and then right after, Jameson's like, "Oh, I'm gonna propose to Mary Jane after this just happened," and it's not like no one saw Peter get slapped. Yeah. It's like he sees it and he goes, "Well, on that note, I'm gonna propose to your best friend, Peter." Like, this is almost worse.
So it is kind of like. Peter's the bad guy here.
Yeah.
She's like, why would you kiss her? Why would you do that specific kiss?
Yeah, well, because that's the thing, like,
right? Because that's the famous kiss from the first movie,
and it's like you did it to her in front of a lot of people.
He doesn't know that she did it with her ex fiance.
But she did it all.
Which he would have done if he had known. He's like, oh, well, it was okay when he did it with JJ.
Yeah, but she was.
JJ can kiss me upside down for more than 5 minutes.
She was I don't think they watched the show. They don't know.
Anyway, continue. That's a deep inside joke.
But they were together, and she left Jameson on wedding day.
To
go with Peter. Who's
if anything, Peter should be like, "Hey, don't start talking about like being faithful. You fucking abandoned your fiance at the altar."
But it's like, so
if I was Peter, I'd be getting a free pass. I'm like, "Oh, what did you say, cheater?"
That's awful. Peter's totally in the wrong. He's so in the wrong, it's ridiculous. I know here at Hack the Movies, we like to have a little fun once in a while, everything like that. But no, Peter was in the wrong completely. He made out with her in front of like legit 1,000 people.
That wasn't a makeout.
It wasn't a kiss. It was a makeout.
I think there was tongue. I think there was saliva.
It's French. It's the language of love.
And then he brings Mary Jane to the restaurant, and then also. Not only that, but like now she's like, wait, so the girl you made out with, okay, like she could kind of get past like, okay.
Yeah, she wasn't that mad about that.
Wait, you're her lab partner and you guys hang out and she's like, you're a genius and like, I'd be like, are you like fucking that girl? Because not for anything, but like Gwen Stacy is really good looking and like now Mary Jane is all like self-conscious because she lost her fucking job and shit. She's probably really, she's probably really thinking about it and like, Peter's like, I understand, like, it sucks. He wanted to propose, but he fucked up in my opinion. And then he should have been like trying to get her back and everything, but
there's scenes where Peter's like, like, oh, go away or come back or hi or whatever. And that's when the signal for Bruce Campbell to bring in like the violin player, and the champagne glasses with the ring in it and stuff. And that's funny to keep coming back and forth. And I thought Bruce Campbell would come up and say something like, "Oh, Lou 3, it's a menage a trois, or vive la France," like something funny, or maybe like. She leaves upset, and then Gwen Stacy sits down and gets the ring, and she's like, "Oh, Peter, I didn't know." Like something could have happened.
Instead, he just forks it out of the class.
Yeah. Instead, both girls leave, and he's just standing there alone when they come out playing the song, and no one's. It should have been like this whole group embarrassed, or everyone, everyone in the whole building goes, "Ha ha," or like he's supposed to feel bad about it, but he just go, "Oh, I didn't get to give Aunt May's vagina ring to like."
Yeah. But skipping ahead a little bit, turns out Mary Jane and Aunt May. Why do I get those two fucking Aunt May and Peter get called into Captain Stacy? What a coincidence! Captain Stacy, his office. Turns out Dennis Carradine, which is now the name of the thug, did not kill Uncle Ben.
Oh, he had frosted tips too. Can we show that picture of Kieran with frosted tips?
Why did you kill Uncle Ben? Anyway, it was the Sandman who killed Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
Turns out that they were accomplices, and he admitted to someone in jail that he killed Uncle Ben.
So at the wrestling show, the Sandman comes out, he drinks a beer, and he beat Uncle Ben to death with a kendo stick. Is that what happened?
No, Kieran. That's a different Sandman.
Well, they were at the wrestling show. He would have been there probably.
Jessica, Photoshop the Sandman, the wrestler, beating up Uncle Ben.
And smashing a can on his head. And then he's just killing him with it.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, what is Bonesaw doing all three of these movies?
Bonesaw is dead because Peter kicked him into a wrought iron rebar fence.
They're like, oh my God, Bonesaw's brain swelling. Yeah. He never survived.
Never recovered. Spider-Man kicked him. Spider-Man is able to hold a trolley car and stop a train with his webs.
And he kicked him
a human
into steel. He dead.
Flew back and just landed like this. He's dead.
It's real to me, damn it.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of fans were upset that Sandman killed Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that bad of a change. I think it could have worked if Sandman was a better character.
No, this is like the Joker killing the Wayne parents. It's because stop.
It's a little different just because in that movie, Batman is, he wants to avenge his parents' killers, and then he kills Joker at the end. It's like, all right, well, why are you still Batman?
I mean,
I like how it is Batman Begins, where he never got the revenge.
Yeah.
So that's why he's like, you know what? Let me make sure it never happens to anyone else.
In this movie, though, it is a lot of just happenstance and coincidences all the time. And this is yet another one of those like, oh, this guy has been gone for years, but all of a sudden he shows up now when Venom comes out.
Look, it could have been, and I like how they did in the first one where he dies, so it's not about personal vengeance, and they changed it to this, and I know it's building up to the whole forgiveness thing.
Mm-hmm.
But Sandman for the rest of the movie is not that good of a character.
No.
Because they forget he's in this movie for large chunks.
Yeah. Oh, you forget a lot of people in this movie. I was like, where did Harry go? Oh, he's back.
It's like, oh yeah, Eddie Brock, that's a guy, right? Mary Jane makes sure that Peter doesn't do anything rash, but he doesn't listen to her, pushes her away some more. And then the symbiote, which has just been hanging out, again, it would have been cool if they found it would have been cool if occasionally they would show the symbiote around the apartment, eating rats or something, sucking their life force.
They open the door and Ursula is just like goth now or something. Like I think there's like if it was latching on the random people,
she's like, hey Pete, tell me about it, stud. Like it's like fucking Grease.
Yeah. So the symbiote is like, there was a scene earlier where when Peter went to go get the crane thing, you see the symbiote sneaking on Mary Jane.
Yeah.
So the symbiote finally takes over Spider-Man, and it turns his spider suit into a black spider suit with a different spider symbol.
Yeah.
It somehow knows to change his spider symbol.
So did it take over the suit, or did it copy the suit and then go on to him, or did he and then take off his other suit?
I don't know.
Does he have multiple suits? They don't really this is very poorly explained.
I think it just takes over
But he wasn't wearing a mask at that point. Like, he was just kind of sleeping in the suit, waiting for
I think
the,
it just like knew that like,
radio.
oh, hey, I'm a suit, LOL.
It like replicated the suit.
Yeah, because the whole movie he's just waiting for the police scanner to find Sandman or whatever. And I guess he's just like sleeping, and then it takes him over. But like, yeah, he wasn't wearing his mask. Next thing he knows, he's in front of the window at night,
Which is from the cartoon.
Yeah.
which is weird because in all the photos, and even at the I think in the movie trailer, they show him looking in the mirror, and
that was just for the trailer, where it's like the red suit and the black suit. Yeah, that was just for the trailer. That's actually one of the earliest things I could think of a movie trailer manipulating something digitally. Now it happens all the time.
They might have changed.
We talked about No Way Home.
The new one, yeah.
The Brazilian. Did you see the Brazilian trailer for No Way Home?
Where clearly the lizard.
The lizard is clearly being kicked by a Spider-Man.
Yo, I love when people were like, someone photoshopped Dom from Fast and Furious in the car punching him. It's like we're not just spiders, we're family or whatever, like all this shit. It's like so ridiculous.
So the symbiote makes him stronger, faster, and this is something else. There's a lot of weird fucking dialogue in this.
This is also the scene of events where like each scene is only like 20 seconds long.
Yeah, because then we get Dr. Connors, and I forgot about this. I guess it's a leftover from the previous one. He's like, I'm a physicist, not a biologist. And it's like, how are they going to do that whole lizard thing if he's not a biologist?
That's true.
Yeah,
I'm sure they could have figured out a way.
He talks to him about the dangers, even though he already has the thing going. And then he immediately starts using the powers, but it happens so quickly you don't have time to think about.
Also, how does he know it's like a alien? Like, did he take a piece off the suit and figure out it was an alien? We don't see that.
And that's also
I don't know.
Like, it also charges Peter, and he puts it under glass, and he's like, "Oh, he really likes you." I'm like, call NASA. What the fuck? Like,
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and he's like, "You didn't get this on you," and he's
That's
like,
the thing,
"No."
like, you think that like if a college student brought me some illicit substance that was unlike any, chemistry or biology on Earth, and was just like, and it's sentient, like it's moving around and shit, I'd be like, hey, I'm calling the fucking FBI on this kid. He's probably some sort of weird terrorist or some shit.
I will say one thing about the suit. I didn't mind that it just made the red and blue spider suit black. I didn't mind that. I do kind of wish it had the spider wrapping around. They do it for Venom later, but it's weird it didn't do it for this.
Yeah, honestly, it's probably, I didn't really like the look of it.
No.
Where it's just the black suit. I don't know. I thought they could have did better, but I like the regular suit. I like the way that looks, but I just...
No.
I don't like the black suit.
Yeah, so also they show a lizard skeleton somewhere in Dr. Connor's like area to like a little wink, like he's gonna be the lizard.
He's gonna be a lizard.
Even though he's not a biologist, I guess.
Maybe he's gonna be a lizard skeleton instead.
It's weird that he could take the black suit on and off. But I think Ryan was explaining during Secret Wars, because what was it? Spider-Man needed a suit, and they like printed him this suit in space. But at that point, they didn't know that it was an alien life form, and I think he could take it on and off.
Yeah,
I think there's even times where he wore like a piece of one suit and a piece of the other. I had to double check that.
In the cartoon, he fucking just makes it like.
Well, that's the thing. Eventually, when it was found out it was an alien, I think they changed it. So at this point, I was more used to the cartoon and like the games and stuff where it can just like go into him and come out.
Is it knows that he because it's kind of like later on when he's trying to pull it off and the suit knows.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he's trying to get rid of me, so it won't.
Yeah.
So it's like.
But I feel like.
But it's cool being taken off and put in a box for
a certain time because he knows that he's like it's like building the addiction.
Yeah.
How would it fucking know?
It
that?
might at night. It might like sneak on him at night and then go back into the box.
It goes up and like touches him.
That's why I thought it'd be funny if it was latching on to other people as well to stay alive.
It's like touching him in the night.
Yeah, I guess so.
Spider suit.
Yes.
That's the That's Aunt May's autobiography, movie number 6.
Okay, Spider-Man searches for the Sandman.
Yeah.
He breaks Eddie Brock's camera.
Yeah, I love that when he's like, what does he say? Like, he's like, fuck off, chump, or whatever he says. It's like,
I don't think he says.
He doesn't say fuck off.
Fuck off, chump. But yeah, he like jumps into the sewer.
Oh, wait, hold on. Jessica, can we get him breaking the camera and then Kieran's voice saying, fuck off, chump?
Fuck off, chump.
I do like when he's sneaking on Sandman, where he's crawling on the wall and
like
hiding in the shadows.
Yeah. Oh, that's a weird part because Eddie Brock pulls out his other camera, so you think he's gonna go down there and like get something.
No, he just starts taking pictures of the. Oh, so
well,
Sandman
just not yet.
Yeah, Sandman just robbed a bank. Or some kind of store or whatever.
Yeah,
I think it was a bank.
He robbed a bank, yeah.
So he's getting pictures of he's getting a plate shot of just the bank.
Exactly.
Oh, right.
Yes.
The trouble is they don't lean on that too much. Like you don't see
you see it like later.
And then so in the subway, fucking it's the most elaborate underground subway system I've ever seen.
It looks like the ending of Black Panther.
Kind of, yeah.
It's like monorail world.
But also, it looks like I've been in the New York subway. I don't ever remember anything looking like that.
Are there places like that in the because like
a giant tube where things? I don't think so.
Like, you know when you're watching like Ninja Turtles and they're in the sewer and there's like fucking structures and those things.
Those are
like,
old subway stops. And stuff.
So it's like, is that like how it is? Like New York has just this subterranean. Fucking metropolis.
Or it's like Futurama with New York.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's just weird that it's like, they're fighting in this like place and it's got a water tank in it for some reason.
So we know, not yet in the movie, but we know as fans that the symbiote doesn't like loud sounds.
Yeah.
And I was saying, like, I don't know, the train shrieking right next to it should be setting it off.
It's not loud sounds. It's like reverberation.
Well, that's what I was wondering, if it's vibration.
Okay. Well, they hit a giant, like, pole. And later on, poles are making him freak out. I don't know. I think
they needed more foreshadowing and little bits of information to be like, maybe like the alarm clock or something goes off and he goes,
actually,
oh, what's that?
Like in the cartoon, what ends up getting Peter to separate the symbiote from, I think, Venom is that he brings him to the shuttle launch.
Yeah, and the rocket.
The sound of the rocket makes it so he can't and then he slings him into. And then that's how Carnage is created, because he goes up into space and he ends up replicating.
I think in the Venom movie, it might have been a deleted scene, but like a car alarm goes off and Venom just starts breaking it because it's triggering his stuff.
Trigger warning.
Yes. He kills the Sandman. This is very Evil Dead with him pulling the thing and it.
I like though that I think that scene's pretty cool where the water like makes him like
but then you're right, good riddance.
Yeah, good riddance.
That's your best one-liner. The Raimi should not have written this. They should have given it to a different writer because then you get weird shit like that.
What could he have said?
I don't know. You're all washed up.
Sand, that's all, folks.
Rest in piss.
Peter is emo now because it's 2007.
Yeah.
He literally goes out and it's like,
he has, and what's weird though is the hair changes from sides, I believe.
Probably, yeah.
I think it's like one side is
that's super
later
emo.
on it's there, one
and then we get the ultimate example of evil Spider-Man. He tells the landlord to fix his damn door.
I love how many memes come out of these fucking movies.
Yeah, especially Mr. Dickovich.
Give me rent.
Give me rent.
You'll get your rent when you fix this damn door.
So he hangs up the suit. He hangs up the suit because he's not sure about it. And then he goes to Aunt May and he's like, guess what? Spider-Man murdered Sandman.
Yeah,
and she's
it's
like,
so weird.
She's like, that's not a thing that Spider-Man does. Why are you bragging about it?
Now she's immediately upset because now she realizes, like, oh my God, my sugar daddy. He's gone. He's not going to bring me that money anymore.
Oh, because it was a setup, right?
Yeah, so she's like, Spider-Man wouldn't do that.
And then she goes, revenge is like a poison. It's like, why didn't you say Venom?
Oh,
is that too on the nose?
I mean, but you know what? That's the thing is like, well, do you know what the difference between poison and venom is? Because there is a difference.
What is the difference?
Like when people say like a venomous snake or a snake isn't poisonous.
Yeah.
Poison is ingested.
Venom is
injected.
Yes.
So you have to that's why they have to like get it into your bloodstream. But like, for poison, it's you eat, you consume it, and it goes through your system. So like snakes
should have said venom.
That's why, like, I think you can drink snake venom or something like that. Like, that's why they have, like, cobra, like, whiskey and stuff like that.
Yeah, because it needs to go into your blood, your stomach.
It has to go into your blood, but, like, through intravenously, because
some of it will, like, coagulate you right away.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, so if you consume it, I don't know if you, I'm not saying, please, out there, don't go drinking snake venom to prove my point.
Someone right now is, like, draining the venom from their cobra.
Like. But no, like, that's the whole thing. So venom is,
So at this point, Mary Jane is sad. She calls Harry to hang out.
Yeah.
Peter apologizes to the landlord.
That was a booty call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peter apologizes to the landlord, and he asks him to buy him pizza. But then he gives real great dating advice.
Yep.
Look, things have recently changed in my life, and I need dating advice. And I think I'm going to use his pickup line of,
Then you say, you're a good woman, I'm good man.
That's his pickup line.
Yep. That's
Also,
it.
sleeper hit. Peter should have went after Ursula in this film.
I mentioned that in the second one. They kind of set up like there's a thing. But, okay. So Ursula's clearly into Peter.
Yeah.
But she's real excited for him to like call Mary Jane. And we were talking before this. I think she wants to be a third. I think she's like,
you know what? Funny scene.
Yeah.
She happens to work at the fancy restaurant as like a dishwasher or something, and she happens to sit down and get the ring and the thing, and that's she's like, you marry my daughter? Buy me pizza? Like, I think I need to rewrite this film.
Give me rent.
No, but I think Ursula wants to be a third.
I don't think. I think
Good job, Peter.
I think she is just a really good friend to Peter, and she does have a crush.
Yeah.
But she's like, I know you are in love with Mary Jane, and I respect that as your really good friend.
And I'm good participating. That's what it is. They're poly, basically.
It's kind of hard to...
We're going to find out in No Way Home. He's going to be like, hey, you have a special someone in your universe? He's like, yeah, both my wives. And they're like, whoa!
Wow. Yeah, I like how like Miles Morales comes out, and 2099 comes out, and Noir Spider-Man, and Ursula.
Spider Ursula.
Goth Ursula.
Spider-Ursula.
But yeah, he's like, yeah, my sister wives, Mary Jane Parker and Ursula Parker.
Ursula Dinklevich. Or whatever.
Anyway, Harry and Mary Jane do the twist.
Yeah, which
for
is
a really
stupid.
long time.
I hate that scene, and I hate the twist.
This is on the Spider-Man 3 soundtrack, the twist.
Oh, baby, do the twist.
Yeah, this not to bring up cringe, but this scene is pretty cringe.
Yeah, it is
It's pretty cringe.
I'm like, what are you guys, like 40?
Yeah, because he tells Bernard the butler, whatever
Barnard
his name is,
or whatever.
Bernard,
His name
he's
is
like,
Barnard.
I think
hey,
it's Bernard.
Is it Bernard?
He's like, hey, do we have any? Yeah, because James Franco acts like,
get some food.
Hey,
What?
we have any
We're
food? And then like he gets food, but like, he's like, I guess we're cooking it now.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna get some takeout or something.
That's what I thought, and he's like, we're making omelets, and we're gonna throw them all over the place, and then do the twist like we're fucking, we're like a recently divorced but also getting back together couple. Like,
And then-
like that just screams.
And then
to me
she
like,
reads the play.
ugh,
And then she cheats on Peter.
yeah.
With Harry, her ex-boyfriend.
And he's like,
to bring back the cheating triangle,
Yeah.
the diamond cutter.
Yeah.
This is cheating.
This is cheating. This is
I don't
cheating.
think it was really cheating.
There's a
I think it was
difference
just
between putting
moment
on
of
a show
weakness.
in front of a crowd of people for entertainment and then making out with your
I think
ex-boyfriend.
that this one was just a kind of moment where she
a
was
moment of weakness.
she was just having a rough time. You know, she's just dealing with some shit. Peter's also running around with his dumbass new haircut.
Yeah.
Like,
Kieran, you had a lot of
everybody.
moments of weaknesses in your life. Is this what I'm hearing about?
No, I have not. I'm actually a very faithful person.
So yes, she has her entanglement with Harry and she gets the hell out of there.
Entanglement.
Somehow,
Entanglement.
somehow this brings back Ghost Dad. Not Bill Cosby, but Norman Osborn.
I don't understand.
This triggers the memory of Norman Osborn.
Yeah. And then he all of a sudden is like, oh, I need to like fuck Peter over now.
Yeah.
Right now.
Oh, so Harry's blue balls cause.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
I was
so.
hoping that when going into this, I was hoping that was going to be more of a thing, just like Ghost Norman Osborn in his head. It was clearly just like a fabrication. That would have
Yeah.
been cool, but they didn't do it. They only do it for like this scene. It's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
So yeah, he attacks Mary Jane. He's like, I'm going to kill Peter if you don't dump him.
Yeah.
So then she dumps him
Yeah.
at the park and he's like
Which
crying.
this scene like really breaks
no.
my heart a little bit.
He never says if you dump Peter, I won't kill you or anything. It's never said. It's implied.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they never resolve it either. They're not like she never goes to Peter like, oh, he told me that. It's never talked about.
Yeah.
So for all Peter knows, she broke up with him because he was being a douchebag. And got back
I
together.
know he
out,
pieces
though,
it
yeah.
together. Okay, so she
He pieces it together when he goes to the fucking restaurant part. But
Yeah.
no, but this scene with Peter when he's like, no, please, like that part kills me. I feel so bad for the guy because now he's like, you know, and he brings out the ring and everything, and it's like, nah, you got it. And then Harry's like bravo or whatever.
By
he's
a
in
tree.
the park.
Yeah.
It's so fucking.
He's like,
I guess his spider sense just didn't let him know that a bad guy was around.
Well, I mean, he might not. He doesn't know that.
Does
that
he
Harry's a bad guy
do they
yet.
do his spider sense in this, like with the 3D thing?
I don't think
not
so.
really.
remember.
But it's only when there's like a serious threat. It's not like, oh, Jeff's over there.
Ah, okay. So he brings him to the restaurant. He's
Yeah.
like, yeah, she got fired. Oh, she didn't tell you? She's like, I think there's another guy. And he's just like, it's me, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
that's the problem is all these scenes just link right up to each other, just like last
Yeah.
time. It's like 1, 2, 3. It happens way too quick. Like there's no filler.
This
or
is
anything.
also the first of the insane cringe scenes.
So good.
It's cringe and
so good.
Yeah, he's eating the pie.
Yeah, it's so
and then he
good.
winks, and then it's like a class
Yeah.
thing where the bus passes and he's gone. So it's like, did he
Oh,
eat and then like run out the
yeah.
restaurant?
Isn't this where he says the thing about her? He's like, when I kissed her, it tasted the same.
No, this is coming up.
That's
this is coming up
later. Okay,
so
that's
Peter,
another part that gets me
yeah,
too.
Peter
So
goes
good.
back and puts on his
So
black
good.
suit, and then
Yeah.
goes to fight Harry. This fight scene's actually kind of fun.
Wait, is this he goes to fight Harry, but it's like I thought doesn't he do the fucking
No,
That's
that's
not
after.
yet? Okay.
No, that's after. So he goes to fight Harry. This is where Harry's like, she tastes like strawberries.
okay, yeah.
Look, I've-
Strawberries.
Again, all these scenes are right fucking next to each other.
I know, it's
Strawberries.
fast.
This movie feels like a bunch of like a mini series tied together.
Yes.
Which this scene, I think this is like one of the best fight scenes. But the only thing is like
I do like when they
Bernard,
have
like,
to. I do like when the glider goes nuts and they have to duck because
Yeah.
it's breaking the whole room.
Also,
Um,
I know he's in his own like private penthouse apartment, but no one hears the explosions and stuff.
Yeah.
Everyone's cool with
Oh
it.
yeah.
Well,
so-
that's the thing. Like Bernard. So do you ever watch Archer?
no.
So Archer's got this what's it called, butler named Woodhouse, and he's always on heroin. He spends all the money that Archer gives him on heroin, on like vacations and heroin. Like that's what he always spends it on. That's what I feel like Bernard is Woodhouse. Like he's just somewhere with a vein,
Yeah.
with a fucking tube around his arm, just fucking zonked out, dipping on Kensington. Like,
Oh my god.
So he
that's why you
throws.
didn't hear any of the fights.
He throws a pumpkin bomb back into Goblin Jr.'s face.
Yeah.
I don't know how
Which,
it doesn't.
yeah.
I don't know how it doesn't set off all the other pumpkin bombs.
Also, too, like he's all like that whole part when he's like, "Your dad didn't love you; he despised you." Like,
Yeah.
and he's like, Spider-Man's like full asshole mode now. He's like,
also, luckily, he just got the exploding pumpkin bombs and not the
Yeah.
incinerate into bones pumpkin
right?
bomb.
Yeah, whatever happened to those? Like, why?
Oh, no, it
didn't
comes back
anybody
at the
ever
end. Comes back at the
vaporize
end.
again? Oh, that's the
Yeah.
one. Okay.
Here's a big scene. Eddie is bragging about his new job. He got the staff job because
Yeah.
he took this amazing photo of Spider-Man
Of Spider-Man.
robbing a bank.
Robbing a
And he's
bank.
going around bragging about like this awesome thing he did. But Peter reveals that Eddie plagiarized his photos. He took Peter's photos of Spider-Man in like Times Square and digitally.
Yeah, he digitally edited.
Yeah, he
them.
digitally edited him. So he took someone else's work and passed it off as his own. And then the Bugle, he embarrasses Eddie in front of everyone.
Yeah.
And Eddie is like begging. He's like, please don't do this. Please don't do this. He embarrasses him in front of everyone. And then the Bugle obviously fires him because he makes the company look bad. And they have to print a retraction.
Yeah.
Like they have to make a statement. Like it's
and
like
I like that he's like, I haven't had a print a
retraction in 20 years.
20 years.
And then it's like, sorry, Spidey. And then it's like, we fired the guy.
Yeah, that's the thing that's messed up is that they fucking like they print like sorry Spidey and then right underneath is a picture of him.
Well, I
and
mean-
fucking he's an asshole like
Well, I mean, the movie shows there's two ways to do it. You can either do what the play did and they're like, we'll make up an excuse about your health, or you can just be like, no, this is the guy who fucked up.
yeah.
But anyway, they went with that route. So Eddie is fucked.
Yeah.
He's not too happy about
I'm surprised Jay Jonah wasn't like, yeah, that's how we need to do it. We need to do some dirty journalism. Like, I'm surprised he wasn't cool with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's because J. Jonah Jameson has like I guess like, I don't know. He doesn't, he's kind of always making
has-
shit
He
up,
believed,
but
yeah.
You think he would have?
I just think it was too easy to get caught. That was the thing. He's like, nah, this is too easy to disprove. I can't go along with it. Or else he would have been like,
Yeah,
this
I like
is
how
good work.
Peter had like a sheet with like circles all over it. Like
Yeah.
every,
I wonder is like, how did he like, I guess like time has gone by and like maybe that got printed already and then Because like, how did Peter just know? Like, how? Did
I think he just recognized the
he
photo.
Just did, but he comes in like already while they're at the party with it.
No, he saw it at he saw the newspaper.
Oh, that's right. And he goes, "Here's some dirt in your eyes." That's
I'm gonna throw some dirt in your eye.
Dirt in your eyes. Like what? Like what is even
so?
That?
So now Peter is ignoring Dr. Connors talking about the symbiote.
Yeah, and he's eating cookies.
Yes, he's eating cookies,
Ursula.
and then he goes around town
and he
strutting his stuff.
Oh, you ever? Someone uploaded this scene without music.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's pretty funny. Can you play some of that? It's pretty good.
There's also
and all the scenes he does, it's like the fucking Joker 2019 on the stairs.
Yeah, I do. Oh yeah, people have done it with them dancing
it's also,
together.
Every girl he passes is yet another like supermodel.
And some of them are into him, and then some of them aren't.
Yeah. Well, they're totally into him, and then they're like, "What the fuck?" That's a little bit weird.
Yeah.
When he starts doing that, but I think like
I do like that this was made fun of for so many years. It was embarrassing, and now it's become a part of the character where. In Spider-Verse,
they
did in Spider, but also in the Spider-Man game, when you're walking, you can do like finger guns to people.
So the one thing about this scene is everybody always rips on like, whenever you're like, oh, this movie sucks. Like, it's got that scene where he's walking down the street. This scene is fine when you watch it because the next scene, is probably one of the most egregious acts I think ever made in any sort of film ever.
Yeah. Also, so he's in addition to strutting around town, he is a dick to J. Jonah. He's like, I want the staff job and I want this much money, and he's like
puts his feet up on his desk and everything.
And then Betty Brant is super into him.
She's like, oh my god, Peter.
She's about to like bone him in like Jameson's office. Like, don't have sex at work, guys. That's weird.
That was
the movie remembers Sandman exists.
Yeah.
I guess he's just been in the water for. What is the passage of time in this movie?
Because
Weeks?
they seem to make it seem like, water is what destroys him or makes
No,
him
I just
blood,
think it makes it harder for him to reform.
Yeah, so
like he doesn't know how to do it yet, and he's learning to piece himself
all of his
together.
Pieces are there.
Yeah, because the water is like pushing the sand particles around, so it's probably harder to reform. But no, he comes back. He's mud now, and
could you imagine if he like went back home to his wife and was like, "Hey, let's do it," and then he just did it with her, but like all the sand was just like in her vagina.
Like his wiener breaks
like,
off.
Yeah, like people are like, you got some sand in your vagina? And she's like, yes, I actually literally do. My husband is made of sand.
Yes.
And it's all caked in there now.
So, we found out earlier that Mary Jane got a job as a singing waitress at a jazz club.
Yeah.
There are clubs like this. There's one in Philly.
Yeah.
My friend used to work there.
I almost went on a date there one time, and then
the one in Philly?
They used to hand out free tickets, and I was like, oh, this will be, because when I was in Philly, I was fucking poor as shit.
Yeah.
And I don't remember why. I ended up going somewhere. We went to another restaurant instead. But we never went to the jazz thing, because also too, the place was crowded, and it also looked like not a fun fucking time for me.
I wonder if that was the same one.
It's the one on Sansom Street. It's like Sansom. Which is like, if you're going like, Sansom's like the next one.
Maybe it was the same one. I don't know.
Like
I went there and I had fun.
I believe.
I had fun there.
Yeah, but you're like a swinging hipster cat. Like, that's not me.
Who's that with trees?
So Peter is now going to the jazz club. And he's going there with Gwen Stacy, and Eddie Brock is like really sad because he loved Gwen Stacy and he's seeing her enjoying her life, but like she's allowed to. She didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
So he's moping about, and then we find out that Peter took her there to make Gwen jealous.
Yeah,
or no, to make Mary Jane jealous.
And he does it in the most cringe possible way.
Yes. So Mary Jane's about to sing, and even Gwen's like, "Isn't that like your ex-girlfriend?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, what a weird coincidence." Yeah. Don't know.
So
he's just playing the piano.
The first thing that kills me about the scene is Mary Jane's face, because she's like, when she's gonna sing, and then you just hear the doodly 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 doodly, and they look, and he's just like on the piano. He does
know how to use the piano. We found out in the second movie that Aunt May teaches piano lessons.
That's right.
So he would know how to play the piano.
Okay. I know she's an excellent fingerer.
And
stop it! Leave Aunt May alone.
Aunt May is good at being a finger pianist. or whatever.
So he dances like an asshole.
He
dances like an asshole in a scene that goes on way too long.
So he first off, I need to talk about this because I forgot. Like, so I watched this movie and I know we talked about it and I said I really like Spider-Man 3. I watched it during quarantine. And I actually really enjoyed it. Blah 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 blah. All this shit. I watched this again, and you know the things poked more out at me this time. This scene, I couldn't stop laughing, like hysterical. Where I was
find
in
us some
pain.
shade.
Yeah, find us some shade. And he says hot legs or whatever he calls her. And it's like
legs.
so he's at a jazz club, but all of a sudden he's acting it's like 1942.
The idea,
and he's this.
What someone said was like, this is what Peter would think is cool.
Yeah,
he's
so
a dweeb.
that was what I said. Yeah, like he was Peter. Since it's like it enhances things. Peter's such a dork in real life that his enhanced is just super dork, but cool dork.
Yeah, it's not like Stefan or Kel.
No, he's super not smooth, and anyone would also be like, "Ugh, Peter, this is fucking weird."
Yeah, so explain the scene, Kieran.
Yeah, so he plays the piano. He's going the doodly doodly, and he goes, "This is for you." He fucking swings around all that shit
On the chandelier.
Yeah, on the chandelier. He steals a person's drink. He's like, "Thanks," and this whole scene is fucking weird. He dances.
I do like when he like takes his jacket off.
Yeah.
It cuts
and he whips it. Oh, and it's
it cuts to Gwen Stacy and like
And it's
wind
like
blows her hair. It's like, where's the wind coming from?
It's a very Sam Raimi.
Like that works
too.
in like Evil Dead when there's magical demons, but where's the wind coming from?
He fucking. She's like, maybe he like farted. And it was like just make a fart.
Wait, out of his dick? She's in front of him.
He queefed out of his dick.
Okay, keep going. Keep going. God damn it.
Sweet
Oh my
Devin.
God.
So
Is that the Daily Bugle down
maybe he's into urethral play, so he was jabbing like a pokey jab in there before he went out to make sure his urethra
So
was
what's
nice
the
and-
line?
What's that called?
What-
Oh, sounding. That's what that's called.
What's
Sounding.
the line that you like that Peter says?
No, I hate it. I don't like it.
What does he say?
He fucking throws the thing, goes woof. She gets hit with the vapors of Peter, and then he goes, "Now dig on this," and he just starts snapping his fingers. It's the fucking stupidest
So
thing.
there's the other line in this where he says, "Somebody stop me!" and
He's like,
smoke it.
"Smoke it."
No, because I was like, so I have here the Lobo versus the Mask comic. Alan Moore, by the way. Alan Grant. Really good.
Oh, the
comic.
From Jurassic Park,
Jurassic
yes.
Park. Yeah, Alan Grant.
Dr. Alan Grant. It's pretty good, but like pretty much like he is the Mask now.
Yeah.
And a little bit like Lobo too.
He is kind of like the Mask. I never thought about that.
Now, does Peter know how to dance, or is this the symbiote dancing?
I think it's both because also he's Spider-Man, so he has.
Oh, he does a
crazy agility.
Spider-Man
Yeah,
move.
he
It's
does
like, I
kinda.
mean, Peter shouldn't be doing
But
that.
just the second he says, "Now dig on this," and it's like a close up of his mouth, shadow, like and
he's
it's
like-
funny. You can send that GIF in Facebook Messenger. It's there because I sent it to Justin today because I was like, I just wrote "Now dig on this" into the GIF thing, and it popped up. It's the second one, and I was like, holy shit!
Yeah.
Someone fucking saw that and was like, I need to make it into a GIF now.
Yeah. So he starts fighting the security guard.
Yeah, the security guard walks up, which also
because they don't know. It's funny that they're gigantic and they don't know he's Spider-Man, so he's beating the shit out of them.
He beats the shit. Is the guy? Is that what's his name? The security guard, was that Malibu or Motaro?
I don't think it was
It's not him.
Malibu.
It
I've
looks
seen
like
that guy as a
Okay.
stuntman in something else.
I thought it might have been him, but yeah. So so Peter throws this dude against the wall like he's
and then he slaps Mary Jane
Yeah,
in front
he
of everyone.
punches Mary Jane.
Oh, so this is after Gwen Stacy realizes she's like, "You brought me here
Yeah.
to. This is weird. I'm
after
out."
she was hit with the fucking wind,
the
fart, the penis fart wind.
Penis queef. You
Yeah,
said.
penis queef.
I like the idea that he slaps
Penis
Mary
queef.
Jane, and her head just fucking explodes.
Yeah, could you imagine if he like punched her and like her head like turned and it was
It's just like it just turns
180?
into fucking Invincible, like Omni-Man. Just fucking her head just
Yeah.
turns backwards.
I was like, because you gotta think like first off, it had to hurt pretty damn bad. A normal punch.
Yeah, because
he's
he's smacking around Harry Osborn, but Harry Osborn has the gas in him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
he's got
like a super.
because they mentioned earlier. She's like, "Wow, your head's like you don't even have a scar on your head. You were
Yeah.
hit pretty hard because it's like healing him." Yeah. So he realizes he's gone way too far, and he's going to brood on top of a church.
Yeah.
This is straight out of the comics,
Yep.
really.
Except they don't have the part where it's like him going, you can't escape me. I'll chase you to the end of the world, shocker. And he's like screaming. You ever see that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like you put that
shocker!
thing in.
He screams.
I think it's called the worst voice acting or the best voice acting in cartoon history.
It's Spider-Man chasing Shocker and he's flipping the fuck out. It's great.
Shocker! You can't escape me! I'll chase you to the ends of the earth!
I remember that in the cartoon. I'm like, oh shit, is he gonna kill Shocker?
He's gonna kill him like straight up.
Yeah, so he's trying to get the symbiote off. And at the same time,
he's trying to get the symbiote off.
Shut up! No. At the same time, Eddie Brock happens to be at the church. I'm sorry, Edward Brock Jr.
Yeah, and he's like, dear Jesus Christ, my savior.
Yeah.
The one true God.
Who one of your commandments is shall not kill or envy or covet.
Could you imagine if he prayed and then it was like no problem, and then Jesus came and just fucking kicked Spider-Man out the window?
Says it's you shall not kill.
Yeah, thou shalt.
Oh,
not
right.
capital He shall not kill.
Jesus is allowed to. He's magic.
But that's the thing, like, so he doesn't know that Peter has the symbiote thing or whatever.
Sorry to all
Spider-Man.
the Christian viewers.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Wow.
He doesn't know that like Peter is Spider-Man or has the symbiote and stuff. As far as he knows, Peter is an innocent guy.
Wait, Peter has a what's it called? A Sybian? He has one of those Sybian machines?
Symbiote.
They're all like horn dogs in this movie.
Shut up, Kieran. Point is, Eddie Brock doesn't know that Peter is like a bad guy. As far as he knows, he's an innocent man whose work he stole.
Yeah.
So instead of just like,
could you imagine if you're in church and you just like you're like praying or whatever, and you just start hearing the bell ring and a guy going because that's like what's happening. Like he just hears a man screaming.
And this is where we find out like the bell, the sound, the reverberation. Reverberation. That's the name of it. That affects the symbiote.
Yeah.
And he rips the symbiote off.
I wonder if
which then goes on to Eddie. Which, by the way, does Peter not hear Eddie going? Aah!
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like, or you mean Eddie not hear Peter freaking out? Oh,
both, both of them.
Well, they did because like he.
Well, no, Eddie hears Peter and he goes, Parker.
He looks at me. Like, it almost looks like he sees him.
Yeah, he's like,
no, he does.
How could you fucking see him? He's like 8 stories up.
Yeah,
It's a
that's
movie.
true. Like, you'd see his face.
But yeah, so then the black suit pours down onto Eddie.
Yeah.
But like, does Peter not hear this monster being born down there?
Yeah.
Well, he's having an issue.
Well,
there's
so
a giant bell going on.
Which
so Peter's
also
ass naked upstairs.
Oh yeah, that's the
now,
thing.
too.
So like,
In
it's not
church.
even he's wearing like boxers. They have a shadow to cover up that he's naked. So it's like, did he swing naked around the city to get home?
He probably had to, and I would have.
Do you
I would
think
have been like, you know what?
Do you think he webbed up his junk
Not
so
for
no
nothing,
one could
but
see?
if I was Spider-Man, I probably would swing completely ass naked a few times, just because why the fuck wouldn't you?
I do like in the game. I like to swing around just the boxer Spider-Man.
Yeah. Also, you know what they could have did was if they really needed, like, if they found out that the reverberations were what like got them early, they could have just ran Aunt May's house and got her body wand and just like to the fucking thing and got him.
Fucking Kieran!
I'm sorry, I have to shoot
Stop
it.
She's got one of those waterproof Hitachis.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah,
nice,
the one that's it's shower safe.
Oh.
Sorry, I had to get it. I had to fill the quota. We're getting close.
Peter tells Aunt May that he fucked up. He's just like, I screwed it up with Mary Jane. And she's like, well, you got to forgive yourself and try to make things right.
Yeah.
I don't like that she's out of focus for most of the shot.
I didn't realize she was actually.
Yeah, they're lingering on him listening to her, but she's like completely out of focus.
It's
also
because she wasn't out of focus. It was the.
No. We're moving on. We're moving on.
Was shaking.
So Sandman's going around the city looking for Spider-Man. Apparently,
controlled.
I thought this was ridiculous. We're like, so Venom is swinging. Venom is swinging around the city. Sandman beats him up. He's like, "You're done."
He goes boom like
He's
that.
like, "You're done, Spider-Man." And then it's a monster, and Sandman's like, "Oh no, never mind. It's just some scary monster." And then walks away casually. It's like, wait, how do you know that's not Spider-Man? Also, you're not a little curious.
Yeah,
I know you're made out of
like,
sand, but you should be like, "Oh wow, you look exactly like Spider-Man. Do you know who Spider-man is?"
Yeah.
Instead, he's like, "Oh, hell of a thing, giant monster. All right, I'm gonna walk away now."
Wait, did Venom have swing power?
Yeah.
That's what is one of his things.
So-
He
well,
shoots the webs out the top.
there's
of his hand.
there's two things. Like old school Venom actually had webs. Like he
Right.
could shoot the webs out of the top of the hand. But then later on, they just made it where he can like launch his like tendrils and
parts
then
of
pull
them.
himself.
Like,
Which is what they do in the new movies.
Yeah,
It's just him
they
tentacling.
didn't give him the web powers and stuff. Which is like that was like Ultimate Spider-Man. He didn't have web powers. He just had like he could like launch himself and he could jump like insanely high. Like
And I just assumed he was shooting off parts of his body that then like die.
Yeah.
But since he's got a host, he can just grow more.
Well, that's what's weird about the ending with all the webs everywhere because they're all black now.
Yeah.
And it was like, wait, so that's cool? That's fine.
It could have absorbed Peter's organic ability.
That's
it
the
could have
thing, too,
taken
is
that from
once,
him.
Once like the symbiote's on him, that's how Venom knows who Peter Parker is Spider-Man because it tells him basically. It's like
But we don't see that. Like we don't
Symbiote.
see like Eddie becoming this villain. It's just the black suit's on him, and then he's swinging around the
and
city.
then he's got fucked up teeth.
And it's not like he's getting revenge on the Daily Bugle or anything. He's just like, I just gotta kill Spider-Man, and that's it.
No, and he's like, hey, you want to kill the spider because he won't let you save your daughter, which I don't even know Peter knows about.
And hey, how would
I know how Venom knows, but I'll tell you that.
Oh, there's
at
a
the end.
deleted scene.
Yes. Oh, this scene wasn't in the movie. This was reshot because they wanted more Venom because he's not Venom in the original version of this scene. He's just Eddie Brock. I mean, he is Venom, but he's not wearing the suit or anything. So yeah, he's just like, you want to team up? And Sandman's like, sure. Let me see here.
Awesome.
What was that?
Awesome.
So Venom kidnaps Mary Jane.
Yeah.
Originally, this wasn't even a deleted scene. Well, they started filming it one way and they changed their mind. Originally, it was Gwen Stacy who was kidnapped.
Okay.
So she would have been the damsel in distress, which would make more sense because Eddie, at this point, Eddie should think that Spider-Man's trying to sleep with Gwen Stacy. Oh, maybe the symbiote told him otherwise.
Why doesn't
That's the thing, we don't see Eddie learning all this.
Why didn't Eddie just grab Mary Jane and run away? Why did he pretend to be a cab driver?
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. I don't know.
She upped the security after the new goblin.
Also, I
broke
like
in.
how it's like he's like, where to? And then all of a sudden it's like, blah, like his hand is just Venom.
So it was going to be Gwen Stacy, and the whole there's some footage of this that it still exists, like maybe in like a trailer or something. Mary Jane is the one who goes to Harry and tells them like they need to like all forgive each other and make up, which would have given like more for her to do and make her a little bit more likable. But then they changed their mind, and apparently Dunst was like really pissed off about that, and Sam Raimi had to like apologize, like, yeah, that was a bad decision. But I guess they were like, nah, make it like the first two, put her in danger. And it's like, all right, well, he already did that a couple times, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, they kidnap her. He puts his traditional costume back on.
Yeah.
And we hear the swelling music. And actually, I noticed, I'm like, wow, we haven't heard the Spider-Man theme for a while in this.
Yeah.
So that was
I
actually
like
cool of a
the
moment.
Swelling Spider-Man music.
He asks Harry.
Not as swollen as Aunt May. Of course.
He asks Harry for help.
Really.
He asks Harry for help, and Harry's just like, I'm Two-Face now.
Yeah, he's Two-Face now.
He's like, Dark Knight comes out next year. We want to beat them to the punch. I'm Two-Face right now. And he doesn't want to help him, so he's like, all right, I guess I'll do it myself. But then
Bernard's like, sir, I just wanted to let
By the way, this is the
you
first
know."
time we ever got a close-up of Bernard. Like, there's people in the audience that are probably like, who's that guy? Who is that?
He's
Shitty
like,
Alfred.
I just want to let you know when I was dusting off your father's penis wounds, he definitely was stabbed by his glider because it crushed his pelvis into
Also,
dust.
he's like, I've seen things in this house that I would never speak of. It's like, Bernard,
Yeah.
why did you
Like your
call the
father's
fucking
penis.
police?
Yeah, that was a very Blade Runner scene. I've seen things you wouldn't believe.
But it's just like, Bernard, why are you... Like, he murdered people and wanted to, like, murder more, and you were like, nope, just pay it no
he
mind.
pays me really well.
I'll just focus on myself.
Yeah.
I don't want to...
He's
Stitches
probably
get
always-
stitches.
He's always zonked out.
But he should be like,
on
hey,
heroin.
On
Yeah.
heroin.
he literally should have went to Oscorp and been like, hey, fucking Norman has a glider.
Who's he gonna tell? The whole fucking board of directors are skeletons now.
Before that,
It
he
looks
could have
like
told him.
Party
Or
City
went
up
to
in
the
that
cops and been like,
boardroom.
hey, I work for Norman Osborn. He has all the stuff. Or the military, because he killed all those military people. He's like,
That's
hey,
true.
I have information on who killed that
Like,
general.
That's technically like a terrorist action, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other company that they were going to sell to, they blew up their ship.
Quest Aerospace. Like, hey, I've got some evidence for you to help you. Yeah. Whatever happened to Quest Aerospace?
They became Quest Diagnostics.
Oh, cool.
And then they became a tribe called Quest.
What an interesting journey for them. Yeah, so that's the dumbest thing in the world, the burner thing. Like that was weak writing. Spider-Man is super patriotic.
Yeah.
He has to land in front of that fucking American flag, which I love.
Remember the end of the first movie?
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
Which
this movie
I
has
love.
a lot of like.
I stood up in the theater and I saluted. I was like, I wonder why my girlfriend is possibly cheating on me. Maybe because I stand up in theaters and salute Spider-Man.
CGI flags. So this movie's got a lot of that. Like, one, it's got weird religious iconography peppered throughout, and it's got America. Like, it's very.
Nothing wrong with that. Got a problem with that, Justin Silverman?
Zero.
Okay.
Hey, listen, as long as Ruben's getting all the roles in town and... Oh, yeah, what was the other thing you wanted to bring up? The other Jewish thing.
Oh! So, okay, sorry. Thank you for reminding me of this. And someone pointed this out on the internet like a while ago, and I watching the movie, I remembered. So, like, one of the ways they show him being evil is when Dr. Connors calls, he answers the phone and goes, "Shalom," and I'm like, I don't know what you're telling us, movie. That's a little bizarre.
What?
Justin, how do you feel about that?
I thought it's good, it's good to see the, inclusivity.
Wait, when did that happen in
Yes.
the movie?
Because Peter is Christian, or at least his family was. So
But,
I
like,
guess
why
evil
would they
Peter
throw
is
that
Jewish.
in? That's so weird.
Moshi.
I don't remember that.
So anyway, what do you guys think of the look of Venom?
That's all right.
Yeah.
I get it's a more slimmed down Venom.
Yeah.
I like the suit. I like that it has the right thing. And I like the face. The problem is he keeps taking off his monster face.
The action figure was actually a pretty cool Venom action
But like,
figure.
the thing is he can talk in the Venom form, so why not just have him wear the Venom face?
Because Topher Grace was like, I need to have my face in certain shots, and I need you to show off my wonky teeth.
Yeah.
Because he's all like, duh.
And this one eyebrow is constantly like...
Because he's the Venom?
Yeah. It like changed him into...
I might do that for the thumbnail. I might have my eyebrow like...
Yeah, just like DreamWorks face, where it's like...
Yeah, I thought Venom looked fine. He has that annoying screech.
Fine and fun.
Yes, his Venom voice kind of sucks.
Yeah,
it's
he's
just
like,
his voice. Not the screaming, just when he talks as Venom, it's just like, I'm
Oh, yeah, it's
Topher
like,
Grace.
I'm Topher Grace. Ugh. Like, they couldn't have given him like a deep... Like,
so the fight he does with Venom when they're falling and his like Toby's mask comes off, the CGI Toby face, not good. It looks more like Retribution's Matrix Retribution's face.
Oh, you mean Matrix?
Revolutions.
Okay.
I got it confused with Resident Evil Retribution.
Movies, yeah, all those movies looked like shit to me. The old Matrix.
I do like when he's shooting the webs. Venom makes like a shield. I thought that was cool. Now Sandman is a kaiju.
Yeah.
Also, here was the part when he's looking on TV. This is the part where they're like, the Sandman stopped him. And then they're like, there's some monster that looks like Spider-Man. Then they leave him the message in the web, and it's the 90s Spider-Man font.
Yeah. I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah. So the Sandman's a kaiju. He can somehow mix with cement.
Yeah.
His powers are a little confusing.
That's the thing. Like, I'm like, is he just able to take over other sands?
Maybe.
Or is it like he is just, I mean, I guess if you think about it, like if you were to replace every single thing of me with a grain of sand, like how big would I even be though?
Yeah, it's a little confusing.
Because also too, it's like, the T-1000 can't like
mix with other metal.
Like he has to basically go like and like turn his hand into a fucking blade, but it's like he's still the same mass.
Yeah, he has a limit. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand. This.
So they team up. They almost kill Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Venom is choking him
He's like
while
pounding him.
Sandman's
He's like,
they're
boom,
double teaming Spider-Man pretty hard.
Yeah, they are.
And I didn't make that into a sex joke. I want to be
they're double teaming Peter. Really going hard on it.
And then Harry shoots a pumpkin bomb into the Sandman's head and like blows his head off.
Yeah. Which I like that where it's like
yeah, because for this whole thing, you're like, oh, I wonder when Harry's gonna show up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they finally team up. And it's actually a good moment, but I like this team up would have worked more if the whole movie was about them fighting. Instead, they fight once, he has amnesia, they fight again, and that's it.
Yeah.
It's the balance of the villains.
But I do like seeing them back being friends again.
It's tough. Like, if you got to cut out one storyline of this, I guess you have to cut out Sandman.
Yeah.
Because you need the antagonizing between both guys to make the suit one attached to them.
I think you could easily cut Sandman out of this whole movie.
Well, You'd have to rewrite the movie.
Yeah, but I think you could. He's so inconsequential.
You'd have to like redo the third act and change that one
I don't
scene.
know about that. I think you could leave it on the floor and leave out the whole thing about the whole Ben Parker thing and just not have that in there, and just make him more about Spider-Man just like being too into himself, like Rocky 3, like what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like I know Topher Grace likes to recut movies, like he did the Hobbit movies. He redid the Star Wars prequels into one film and stuff like that. He should re-edit.
So now you can just watch one shorter bad movie.
Yeah, but, you know, like I understand stuff like that, but I do like the idea of like the editing challenge.
Yeah.
But
there is an edit. They released in like 2011 or something, and maybe it's in the 4K release. There is a different edit of this that's 2 minutes shorter with alternate takes, but it was like the editor's cut. But I've never seen it. I didn't know it existed.
Who edited this movie?
Edity McEditor.
Bob Murwowski. But yeah, no, this doesn't have the cut. Anyway, they're teaming up. Sam Raimi's daughter can't act.
Same guy edited too.
His sons can't act, but they're like Wicked.
Yeah,
and his daughter you like the scene with the daughter and J. Jonah.
I think this is one of the best J. Jonah Jameson scenes because it's
I know I hit the mic. That was a reverberation to get the symbiote was coming off of Topher Grace. So I wanted to make sure it's
even doing that.
Okay, I'm sure the podcast listeners are not appreciating this. Anyway, you like the scene.
I like this because I think it's classic J. Jonah Jameson where he's like, Parker, where is he? And then he sees the girl and he's like, you want a job? And she's like, why would I want a job? And he's like, well, how much for your camera? And she's like, $100 and he buys it.
But without the film.
There's no film and everything. I'm like, I feel like that's really good. That was a good, funny scene with J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah.
As opposed to the overdone.
Well, a couple
pills.
years later, that wouldn't have made sense because everyone had smartphones.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like when I saw this and I was like watching it, it's like, oh, film. And then I was like, then I went on this whole tangent of like thinking about like, wow, it's fucking crazy that like, film and cameras, and she had like a little 35 millimeter.
Like there were cameras on phones, but they all sucked back then.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they were like what, flip phones? I had my
Razor.
It's funny. I used to have a flip phone, and it had a picture of me and Fabio because I met Fabio in Philadelphia one day. He was outside of my school, and all my friends were like, "Yo, Fabio is outside," and I was like, "What?" And I ran outside after class. And I got a picture of me and him like this, and he gave like a thumbs up. He's pretty tall, too.
Do you still have that picture?
No, because I washed my cell phone with it. Like the cell phone I had was like an old flip one, like a Nokia.
Wait, you washed it?
Yeah, I accidentally left it in my pocket when I was doing my laundry, and it was in there. No. And it was like, but it was, first off, the picture was real shit quality. And also, I wanted to send it to myself. I wish I could have. But to send... it's not like now where you could just send a photo and a text. It's nothing. You had to like pay a bunch of extra money for it. I think it was $4.99.
Or plug it into your computer, which I actually prefer. You can't do that.
I didn't have the thing to like the permissions on my account because I was on like a family plan.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it from my phone. I had to like get my mom to give me and she was like, $4.99 to send a photo. What? Like she was like, she would not let it happen. So I was like, okay, well, I'll just hold on to this phone forever. And then I fucking washed it and it was gone. I met Fabio one time.
What I do like is after they knock out the Sandman, Peter's spider sense doesn't work on Venom.
Yeah.
Because he can counteract it. Actually, I do like when he shows up as Venom. He's like, oh, your spider sense is tingling?
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, is that what Peter calls it? But he never says it out loud.
Oh, yeah.
I do like in the new movies, the Peter tingle.
The Peter
He doesn't
tingle.
have a name for spider sense in the new movie.
They don't explain this movie that the suit is telling him things because the suit...
They don't, yeah, they needed a scene of that, of him communicating with the suit.
Because all it seemed like is like they were just making a weird, funny sex joke about Spider-Man. Because he's like, my senses are tingling because Mary Jane's here. Like, that's kind of what they were getting at.
I like in the end game when it shows like the hairs on his hand, on his
or Infinity War did that, yeah.
Oh, Infinity War, yeah.
I did like in Far From Home, he finally masters the spider sense. Yeah, so what's it called?
Yeah, that's how he beats.
Yeah, beats Mysterio.
That's what was kind of cool was he was just getting his ass kicked.
Eddie likes being bad.
Yeah,
because he's just like, hey, Eddie, I know the symbiote is on you and it's making you think things, but you should probably take it off. And he's like,
I like being bad. It makes me happy.
He was just evil the entire time.
He was just evil the entire time.
Yeah.
Can't redeem him. And then Harry shoots the bat razors that cuts his wrist and shit.
Yeah.
They get into a little bit of a tussle, and then Harry jumps in the way of his glider because Venom grabs his glider with the razors.
Yup.
And then Harry gets stabbed by his own glider.
Wait, you didn't talk about Sandman getting killed.
I did.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
When?
I literally said he gets shoot by rockets and he dies.
Oh, he shoot by. Okay, that was quick because that was almost as quick as when it happens in the movie, and you're like, wait, where'd he go?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know how the rockets are working on him, but whatever. The scene where Harry...
Does it like, when you burn glass?
He turns to glass and then he falls
yeah,
apart.
yeah.
Sorry.
The scene where Harry gets stabbed by his glider reminds me of Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story.
Oh, God, yeah.
The whole time where the dad hates Dewey Cox for cutting his brother in half with a machete, and then he cuts himself, and he's like, I didn't realize until now how easy it is to cut yourself.
Yeah.
Like, Harry should have been like, I guess it is pretty easy to get killed by your own glider.
Glider, huh?
Who would have known? I forgive you, Peter.
But he wasn't stabbed through the groin.
He was not
stabbed
through the
through like
groin.
the fucking chest. And actually, what's weird is if you think about it, so Green Goblin originally stabbed in the dick or whatever, and he just dies. Like he's like, don't tell Harry, clunk. Harry gets stabbed through the fucking chest.
Well, Harry gets stabbed through the chest with like the spikes.
Yeah.
Green Goblin got the whole thing just shattered his pelvis.
No, but
No.
I still don't think like I still think he
got
would have
that-
been like, oh my god, like he
it's
would have been freaking out for
it's-
like an hour and a half before he died.
It's like the movie Signs.
yeah,
As soon as they move the car, they die. So
Yeah.
it's just like,
But,
so
like,
how you doing?
Harry gets it through him. Then he falls like 50 feet, and he's alive for like another 15 minutes almost. Like he's just laying there with like Mary Jane, like, oh,
Well, he's got that
sucks.
super healing that's
He was-
probably
I
counteracting
don't know
it.
about that.
He
So
was-
so wouldn't have the original Green
it's
Goblin.
the power of age. He was younger.
Anyway,
Yeah, that's true, I guess.
Anyway, before that, Peter sees the pipes falling, messing the symbiote. So he I do like the scene where he uses the pipes and then he builds like the little prison
he's like,
for him.
It's like a fucking Blue Man Group concert.
Yeah.
But he disrupts it
Take him to
enough.
a stomp concert.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mary Jane saves him because they're doing stomp.
Yeah. He disrupts the symbiote enough to get Eddie out of it.
Yeah.
And the symbiote's like a giant monster.
Yeah, it's all like, oh.
It's like,
I like the way it looks,
which
though.
is a very T-1000 dying scene.
Yeah.
Yes. And
But I like how they made it look. It's creepy looking. Like
they
actually
sold a
looks pretty
toy of
scary.
it that was pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I like when it gets big and then he hits the pipe and it shrinks.
Yeah.
Then for some reason the glider will just answer to Spider-Man. Seems like a design flaw. He pulls out one of the incinerating bombs, throws it at the symbiote, and then Eddie's like, "I want the symbiote." And you see his
He
skeleton
just
and
can't
shit.
get over his problems, and he needs the power back.
He really
Yeah.
needs to get help and just not have revenge.
He's got to take
consume
the
him.
power back. Boom.
Yeah, because for a second there you see a skeleton.
Yeah, he's dead.
Oh yeah.
There is a little bit of symbiote left with Dr. Connors, but they never followed up on it.
I didn't think about that, huh?
Yeah. But yeah,
Was he gonna grow his arm back with the symbiote, or how are they gonna
Oh,
explain
maybe
that?
that's how they would have done it.
Maybe
That
something
makes
like that.
sense.
Like he uses the
And then
power
that's
of
why
it.
he turns into the lizard and he's like evil and shit. Or
Maybe.
whatever.
Where he's like, oh well, this
This thing has regenerative
salamander, and if I
properties.
use this alien magic,
Yeah.
oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would have made sense.
And then
Sa-
Bruce Campbell's here.
So
Yeah.
Sandman apparently was just watching awkwardly.
yeah.
And he's like, "Hey, sorry I killed your uncle
Yeah.
that I know
also,
about
like,
for some reason."
because he can't take Spider-Man one-on-one, so he's like, well, my partner died, so I guess we'll just make amends, I guess.
It was like, "Hey, I didn't want any of this." It would have made more sense if they kept the original fucking ending, which I'll read. But yeah, he's just like, "I'm really sorry I killed your uncle. I didn't have a choice." He's like, "You did have a choice, but I forgive you." And Sandman's
Yeah.
like, "Cool." And then I guess he's coming back in the new one, still angry. I don't know.
I decided, fuck that guy after all.
Harry then dies.
Yeah.
They're best friends, and everyone's crying. And cuts to the meme picture of
Yeah.
Tobey Maguire, like,
He's like,
I feel, but this scene always like gets me though.
Yeah.
It's because now they're finally cool,
No.
but Harry's dead.
And then at the funeral for Harry, the Stacys are there.
And
Flash Thompson.
is in
At
the
least they went to
background.
high school together.
Yeah.
They weren't friends. But
did they,
Captain
like-
Stacy and Gwen Stacy,
Well,
it's like, did they know Harry?
the Osborns are also like a big.
yeah,
That was
of the
never
town.
established.
I don't know.
Well,
Eh.
they had a parade, you know.
No.
Which also too, if you think about it, now like the whole Osborn family tree is like wiped out.
Yeah.
Well,
Everybody's
it's
dead.
only two guys.
Yeah.
And then the movie ends with Peter and Mary Mary Jane dancing.
Yeah.
And it ends on a. It's weird.
And then he's like,
at the funeral, I thought they were like estranged now.
Yeah,
but now they're back together.
Well, they're not like back together, but it's like, look, we've been through a lot. Our best friend's dead. I'm sorry, I was like messed up. Like, I'm
he's like, by the way, honestly, he's got it out. It's like, hey, did you see that alien that tried to kill you? That was on me.
That was why I was all emo. That's why I did all the stupid.
I no longer have the alien.
Yeah.
I'm good now. I'm cured.
Yeah, and I would have been like, now dig on this. Doodle.
I kind of want to hear like let's go, let's dig on this, and then it plays the Cowboy Bebop music.
So Sam Raimi,
it's the new Netflix
Sam Raimi
one.
has reflected on this a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. It says here, I think simply trying to raise the stakes after Spider-Man 2 was the thinking going into it, and I think that's what doomed us. And then he said, I should have just stuck with the characters and the relationships and progressed them to the next step and not tried to top the bar. And then when he was asked, because he's directing Doctor Strange 2 for the MCU.
Oh, nice.
He said, I didn't know if I was able to face it again because it was painful to be the director of Spider-Man 3. The internet got carried away and people didn't like this movie and they let me know.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It was hard to take it, and I saw the opening with Doctor Strange 2. My agent called me, Marvel's looking for a director and your name is out. Would you be interested? So he realized he's fucked up. He wanted to do a Spider-Man 4. He had plans for it. I'm pulling up the deletions. He had plans to do the Spider-Man 4, but he had to meet the deadline of May 2011 and he couldn't.
Yeah.
He couldn't get the story together, so he just dropped out, and then they went with the
with the
reboot.
new ones, I guess. Okay.
Would you like to? Someone posted all the deleted scenes a while back. Would you like to know the deleted scenes?
I would love to.
This came from a guy on Twitter called @WilliamD1123.
Also, speaking of flip phones, I hate your fucking
I have the Google Fold, the Samsung Fold. Fuck you.
Wow.
Enjoy your fucking Apple piece of shit. So in the beginning, Peter tries to visit Harry at Oscorp.
Okay.
Yeah, in the opening montage of the film, Peter attempts to go to Oscorp to see Harry and explain what happened between him and his father. Peter is stopped by an Oscorp receptionist from entering. That would have made a little bit more sense, because it's like Peter hasn't told him. Like if we saw like he did make an attempt.
Yeah.
Let me see. There were extra scenes of James Franco seeing Norman Osborn's whatchamacallit?
Oh,
the hallucination. Okay. Yeah. There was a character named Dr. Wallace. And this says, after Flint Marko becomes Sandman, he visits Dr. Wallace, a molecular biologist who's working on a cure for Marco's daughter. Marko probably threatened Wallace to continue working for a cure for his daughter. And there's like a little clip of him like throwing him through a window or something.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Spider is seen crawling around Peter's room. And I think the symbiote eats it, which would have played into my idea of it eating things.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Oh, Mary Jane was supposed to talk to Ursula at one point. And I think she's the one that tells her about the job about the singing waitress. So that would explain how she got that.
Okay.
Peter, a little kid is playing with silly string. And it runs out and Peter shoots his web and he tells a little boy that he's Spider-Man at the parade. That's probably not a smart. You probably shouldn't do that. Spider-Man saved a baby. But I guess we already saw that in the previous movie.
Yeah. I don't think he should have saved that baby.
Yeah.
There would have been a flashback to Peter at the wrestling thing.
What the fuck was that?
It's from the bloopers. But people see that he's wearing what he wore in the first one.
Why is it? Oh, like what is that? What is that?
There were going to be more scenes of him in the black suit, like beating up people. Instead, they just showed photos of it in the final cut. What is there here? Oh, he saw like Venom in the mirror when he's like reflecting with this.
Oh, okay.
He sees like a flash of Venom, which I guess would like, freak him out. Oh, J. Jonah Jameson has wind chimes to calm him down, and Ted Raimi breaks them at one point.
Okay.
Why are you?
The chimes of oh shit.
You broke my chimes.
Oh, there's also a 15-minute extended jazz club dance scene.
That would have been interesting if Venom went in there, Topher Grace, to like fuck with him like daily for firing him, and like broke a wind chime, and the noise made him like have the thing come on, like a little more.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
After being fired, Eddie goes to Gwen's house for solace. Gwen tells Eddie that she doesn't want him in her life, and he leaves.
Oh, okay.
So we would have, we would have seen a little bit of a breakup there.
I would have liked to see him get ripped apart a little bit more.
Yeah, extended shots of just a lot of extended stuff. Okay, so this one,
jazz club dance scene.
So at one point, because we don't see Sandman with his daughter at all, Sandman's daughter was going to be at like a park playing in the sand, and he was going to make her like a big sand castle and shit.
That's cool.
And then Eddie Brock would have met him there and pitched the idea of teaming up, and we would have gotten a little bit more character stuff there, but they must have been like, not enough Venom. Put more Venom in it, so they just redid the scene. We already talked about Mary Jane would have saved Harry, or would have gotten Harry to show up. Yeah, so at the very end, Sandman was going to be beating up on Peter Parker, and his wife and kid were supposed to show up.
Huh.
They like show up in an elevator, and they're like, stop doing this.
Okay.
And he's like, oh shit. Like the girl basically, I think she's just like, from what I can gather, it's kind of like Arkham Knight with Mr. Freeze's wife, where they're like, hey, look, I'm going to die, and I'd rather die not seeing you be this rage monster. Can you just fucking relax?
Instead, Harry comes to save the day.
Instead of him being like, oh, Venom died, I guess we're cool now. Or does he recognize who Peter Parker is when he sees him without the mask and then goes, oh, I killed that guy's uncle?
It might have been like, because he had that whole fight with him in the subway where he said like,
oh, right, Ben Parker,
what does it have to do with you? And
yeah.
then he's like, you took everything, or whatever.
Yeah, so I think that would have been a big change. And they also showed that they were going to show, Eddie Brock's skeleton afterwards, and he was going to have fangs in his teeth and shit.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, but they didn't do that. But anyway, that was what was cut out. A lot was cut out. Probably would have made the movie better, or at least make a little bit more sense.
What was this rated? PG-13?
Yes.
It says here it's originally supposed to be NC-17. Because there was this whole scene with Aunt May. Aunt May had this whole scene they cut out. What's it say here? I can't read it. It's kind of small when we get in here. It says, you see like a static cut, like I said all this awful stuff, and then we just like come back.
It's an interior shot of like just fingers going into like.
Okay. So that was the end of the Spider-Man Sam Raimi trilogy. What a fun adventure.
Yeah, I had a great time.
I had a great time revisiting these. And as I said before, I will do commentary tracks for the other two. Not the MCU ones. I just don't have the time. I just kind of covered the previous ones. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. I'm excited to see who comes back for the new movie.
Yeah.
It's been kind of confirmed who's coming back.
I'm also decided to see in the new movie who comes.
Anyway. So yes, Venom has a bit of a revival recently.
Yeah.
In films, and No Way Home's coming out. If you saw Venom 2, you would know at the end that Venom is now in the Spider-Man universe.
Oh, for real?
Yes. So that means we're going to see the Spider-Man taking on my co-star, Tom Hardy.
Wow.
Speaking of Tom Hardy, I invited him to the set.
Wow. Oh, no, Tony.
We're going to review both Venom movies right now. Isn't that right, Tom Hardy?
We are Venom.
Yeah. Wait, Tom, why are you climbing the building? Tom.
Oh, he's on the same scaffolding as everyone else.
No, Tom, stop climbing the building. Oh, for the love of God, no, Tom. God damn it, Tom Hardy, no.
Tom Hardy wiped out your microphone.
Yeah.
My co-star from The Dark Knight Rises and the star of Venom 1 and 2 and Star Trek Nemesis has died.
And Mad Max Fury Road.
Check. Oh my God.
In Bronson, you see his penis.
Really?
Which we can see right now.
Yeah,
it's hanging out of the suit. Why? The Spider-Man actors were one thing, but why did the Venom actors decide to fucking do it?
He's urinating uncontrollably and defecating.
That's it.
It isn't.
That's the end. We're not inviting any more Spider-Man actors onto the show. They all get a little too carried away, and they end up dying in the store. God damn it. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Send thoughts and prayers to Topher Grace and Tom Hardy. And check out Cinemassacre Podcast and Kieran's Twitch streams.
Yeah, twitch.tv/Kieran with 5 E's, K-I 5 E's RN.
Much like the Sam Raimi trilogy, this trilogy of reviews has ended on a bittersweet note.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Patreon.
I already said that.
Patreon.
I just like saying Patreon. No reason.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our other videos and Patreon page.